Good afternoon and welcome to another Saturday afternoon of high school football, 8-man quarterfinals, Elite 8. The number one team, the Sabres of St. Thomas More, traveling up northeast of Galesburg to take on the Ridgewood Spartans. Chris Frankhauser and Wyatt Reed here at Golf Stall Field. And Wyatt, you've got some familiarity with both of these squads doing a couple of BPC games, and should be an entertaining afternoon of football here.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one. When our boss called us earlier this week and told us that I was going to be on the call this one, I'm kind of excited because, like you said, I was here a few weeks ago doing the game, the Battle of the Spartans, Bushnell-Prairie City versus the Ridgewood Spartans. Ridgewood ended up getting the upper hand. Bushnell played a very good game against them, though. One of the closer games that they saw all season long outside of their two losses.
Right.
They come in 8-2. But then last week, got the chance to travel all the way to Champaign, St. Thomas More, beautiful facility. If you've never been out there, you should go watch a game at that facility. Beautiful facility for 8-man football. But again, it was kind of one of those games where Bushnell was in the game all the way through. Neither team really was playing at the top notch that we know that they can play. But when you've got athletes out there like Peace Boomba, we could be in for a show here this afternoon in Cambridge.
Absolutely, and when you talk 8-man football, player of the year, it's going to likely be Peace Boomba, as he has just racked up video game numbers. And the funny thing is, you look back, and I know listening to some of the 8-man football stuff on Facebook and the NUIC and there, he really hasn't some games hasn't barely touched the football in some games, and he's still racking up 6-7 carries, 3 or 4 touchdowns,
Right.
200 plus yards. So I'm excited to watch. Getting to watch him play last year as BPC made the trip to St. Thomas More. I'm really excited to see him here today. But this Ridgewood Spartan squad, they were in the 9th seed. They went on the road down to Kincaid South Fork and came away with the upset. I guess you would call it up. I'm not sure I would call it an upset.
8-9s really aren't upsets seating-wise, but if there is going to be a team that can contain Peace Boomba, I think it is this Ridgewood team. They've got the size, they've got the experience. Look at the amount of seniors on the bottom of the field. I'll see if I can get a camera shot here. Look at all these seniors here on this Ridgewood team. There's a bunch of senior leadership. They know coming in that he's going to be the man to stop, and the seniors are going to lead the charge of trying to slow him down. But last week, you talked about him possibly winning Player of the Year. I mean, he had 26 carries for 210 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. He had a receiving touchdown, and defensively, he had 2 interceptions.
Right.
One of the most ridiculous games I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
But, like I said, Ridgewood's got the size. They've got the experience to slow him down, and I'm very excited to see what their game plan is for him.
And the Spartans coming in with 2 losses, but you look back to the 2 losses they had, Amboy and Polo.
Yeah, 2 of the best 10. I mean, nobody's going to be ashamed to lose those football games here. Yeah, you got St. Thomas More coming into this ball game undefeated, and we're getting ready for the coin toss, it looks like here. But, you got St. Thomas More coming in at 10-0, but you look at their schedule, they probably arguably should have lost some games. There was a 20-14 game in there. There was a couple of close games of similar opponents that Bushnell played earlier in the season. So, and that's not obviously a knock against Bushnell, but Bushnell kept them close and St. Thomas More played them close. So, I mean, you just don't know what St. Thomas More team you're going to see coming into the week. Last week, it was the penalties. Bushnell was still in that game going into the fourth quarter. They were only down 2 possessions going into that fourth quarter. And then Peace ended up getting a touchdown in the fourth quarter and wiping the game away ultimately. But, the amount of penalties that they committed last week, they can't do that here this afternoon. Otherwise, they're going back to Champaign with a loss.
Yeah, and, of course, this is one of 3 other contests today. And 2 of the other 3 are going to be broadcast right here on our TSSR Game Time Hulett PubliPro YouTube channel. Dwayne up at Amboy as they host Flanagan, Cornell Woodland, the Falcons, and the Paddle the Blacktop, they called it up north with Milledgeville and Polo, 2 of the premier teams back when they played 11-man football, but 2 of the premier 8-man teams in the state, and close neighbors getting that one on. And, of course, that one on here on the YouTube Hulett PubliPro TSSR Game Time Live platform.
A lot of good football here this afternoon. It's such a beautiful day. It looks like St. Thomas More is going to receive the opening kickoff here, so we're going to get the chance to see that potential 8-man player of the year in Peace Boomba here in just a moment. But, yeah, a lot of great football this afternoon. We could not ask for a more perfect day. We were asked if we wanted to be in the press box. We said, no, the weather's too beautiful. We're going to be outside. Why not? It is warmer in here than I think it is in the press box.
In
so
the sun, and the
it is
expected to be in the low 60s today. No breeze at all.
You know, when people say football weather, and they say, you know, the snow or the rain or the muddy conditions, they say that's football weather. Now, this is football weather right here.
I like
sunny,
this
beautiful day. This is better football weather than you will ever see.
White, you were talking about the senior leadership of the Spartans. And you look at all those placards. There's some 11-man teams that don't even have that many players playing for their squads.
Right, exactly. And there's so much senior leadership. Like I said, just look at the bottom of the screen right there. That is all your seniors this year, I believe. That might actually be the full team. But I know looking at that might be the full team, actually, now that I think about it. But if you get a look at their roster, there's a lot of seniors on this roster. And it's at very important positions. So you look at the three-headed monster that they've got at running back. Number 21, Taylor Snook. He's actually listed as a tight end. They use him as a running back. He's a senior. Preston Moriarty, who had a really big game against Bushnell a few weeks back. He is also a senior. And then Roy Sandberg. He's not a senior. He is an upperclassman, though. He is a junior. 6'1", 165 pounds. Roy Sandberg is going to be the guy to watch here on this Ridgewood team, but they do have senior leadership, including their senior quarterback, Riley Couture. They don't throw it a bunch, but when they need to throw it, they're going to throw it, and Riley Couture, he's the right man for the job here as he, again, is coming in as a senior here in this contest. I'm looking forward to seeing what Couture can do because, like I said, Ridgewood kind of had a tough game against Bushnell a few weeks ago, and now they've gotten a month to come off of that. They're coming in off of that win against a higher seed. Even though it was an 8-9 matchup, you still get that momentum, and it's not so much now about seeding. It's more so who the hotter team is, and Ridgewood coming in off that win last week. This is a team that really nobody wants to face, and St. Thomas More has the unfortunate of playing them on their home field.
Yeah, and we're hoping to have score updates throughout the day here from the other 8-man contest. The other one the one we are not broadcasting is Pawnee hosting Martinsville. And we got the good luck that all these games start at either 1 or 2 o'clock, so we should have scores of the other contest as we go along here from Cambridge High School. As here come the Spartans onto the field. Home blue jerseys with the white numbers, white trim pants. St. Thomas More in the road white jerseys. Green and black and yellow pants.
I promise you these jerseys for St. Thomas More are going to be so much easier to identify than last week. I think last week they had these dark green uniforms with a very dark gold as well. It was tough to see some numbers, but like I said, when you're talking about St. Thomas More, really the only number you need to remember is 7. I mean, Peace Boomba, he's 6'1". I think he's 210 pounds, and I think that's actually that's lowballing him a little bit. I think he's actually bigger than that. You don't see a lot of kids with the athleticism that Peace Boomba has on 11-man teams, much less an 8-man team. So getting the chance to see him on this opening drive here, St. Thomas More again winning the toss and electing to get the ball, or maybe they deferred, but maybe Ridgewood deferred. Either way, St. Thomas More is going to get the ball first. And the number 1 seed is going to try to come out here and make a statement.
Quarterback for the St. Thomas More Ball Club, number 26, Reed Craddock.
And in that game last week against Bushnell-Prairie City, you know, I thought we were going to see a lot of running when I went there and said, who's the guy to watch? Oh, the running back, number 7. I thought they were going to hand it off 30 to 40 times. They tried to get Craddock into the throwing game and the passing game a little bit last week. So maybe that's going to be something they do to try to catch this Ridgewood team off guard. You know, you do want to use your weapon, Peace Boomba, as much as humanly possible. But when the whole team knows that it's going to him,
somebody's got to step up.
Maybe mix it up a little bit. Yeah, try to get something in the receiving game. So I'm kind of curious to see if they do try to turn to Reed Craddock and trying to air it out a little bit here.
Looks like number 9, Marty Devaney, back for the Sabres 51, and of course we don't have a 51 on the St. Thomas roster.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. I thought we had a 51 last week, but I think it's somebody else, but I can't remember who it was.
And number 51 listed as number 81 in your
81. So it's Ben Horn. Okay. So there you go.
Thanks to the PA announcer for helping us out there.
I'm glad they caught that because I sure wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
Number 1, Connor McHegg with the ball teed up for the Spartans. Going to be a high kick. Going to be fielded by one of the up men. Goes down to knee at about the 38-yard line. Number 88, Michael Roselle on the reception of the kick.
Kind of a short kick. I don't know if that was by design. You know, you're giving the number 1 seed, St. Thomas More, excellent field position to start this football game. So we'll see if that was by design, see if it works out for Ridgewood.
So it'll be 1st and 10. They're going to mark it almost, well, the nose of the football, I would say the 40. It looked like he got it about the 38.
39, 40-yard line, I'd say. Right there at the 40, according to the scoreboard.
I formation, Craddock under center. Single receiver near side. Handoff, fake the handoff. Craddock's going to bootleg it. He's going to be brought down in the backfield and lost back to the 34-yard line.
See, and that's what I was saying. You wonder if they're going to try to open it up a little bit more with the passing game and read Craddock. They tried to do it on that opening play right there. Everybody in the stadium expected number 7, Peace Boomer, to get the ball on that play. And Ridgewood, I think they brought a blitz on that one right there. They were ready for it, and now you're looking at 2nd and very long. Loss of 7 on that one.
Owen Anderson, one of the Spartans there on the stop. So 2nd, and call it 17. They're going to mark it all the way back to the 33. Shotgun formation. Boomba, the lone setback in the backfield with Craddock. 2 receivers near side. Hand off to Boomba. Breaks 1 tackle. He's across the 40, almost to the 40-yard line.
Number 7, Peace Bumba.
He's going to get about 5 of those yards back.
That was a close one. It didn't see him do that last week against Bushnell-Prairie City. Putting the ball right there, but a fumble on the opening possession. They were able to get 5, 6 yards back there. Still looking at 3rd and long, which is not ideal for a team that doesn't throw it all that often.
Call it 3rd and 12, just underway. 11:01 to play here in the opening quarter. Now they're going to empty the backfield. 2 receivers to both sides. Shotgun formation for Craddock. Right-hander looks to throw, and the intended receiver was Boomba, and it looked like he just lost his footing. Coverage there by number 25, Roy Sandberg, for the Spartans, and a 3-and-out for the Sabres.
Yeah, the old turf monster, I think, getting the receiver on that one right there. I can't really hear anything going on the St. Thomas More sideline. I don't know if they were asking for a call, but, yeah, that was just the turf. It looks like the turf has actually been cut recently here. So beautiful field conditions right there. Just slipped on that one, and 3-and-out.
Spartans with no one back, and the end-over-end kick by number 81.
Beautiful punt.
Or 51, Ben Horn's going to go inside the 20, down near the 10-yard line.
I mean, could you have asked for a better punt right there? I mean, you'd get the unideal start of the 3-and-out on the opening possession there. So what better way than pinning him deep in return? So this can be I feel like this could be a very low-scoring game. Just at how the first opening, minute and a half? We're not even a minute and a half. We're at 1:08 in to this ball game, and you just feel it right now. This is going to be like a 1st to 17 wins kind of game.
Right. 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 12-yard line. Quarterback is number 3, is mentioned earlier. Going to be a handoff to the near side, number 25. He's got some room. Roy Sandberg. And he's going to have a 1st down out close to the 30-yard line. Gain of 18 and a Spartan 1st down.
And apologies on the camera angle right there. The Ridgewood sideline right there in the camera shot right there on that play. But Sandberg, one of those 3-headed monsters. Number 21, Taylor Snook, you'll see him in the backfield. You'll see Preston Moriarty, and you'll also see Roy Sandberg, as we saw on that play right there.
Tour under center for the Spartans. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Going to be a handoff up the middle. 21 on the carry. Taylor Snook.
Yeah, I don't know why they list him as a tight end. He's a running back, and he carries it quite a bit. You know, when I was here against when they played Bushnell a few weeks back, you know, he carries it a lot. He carries it really, really well. He's a very entertaining player to watch, but I have no idea why he's listed at tight end. Maybe you can only have so many running backs on the roster, and they had to pick something for him.
9:50 to play, no score here in the opening quarter. 2nd and 9 for Ridgewood from their own 31-yard line. Single back set, going to be a handoff. That looks like Sandberg, and he's not got much there off the left side. Nope, that would be Snook again.
Stopped on the play.
Going to be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 on the play.
That's a generous spot from where what that play looked like. I thought that was maybe back to the line of scrimmage from where we're standing, but, you know, get 2 or 3 and make it a 3rd and manageable. Kai in the comments saying, looking forward to this one. Can't believe 2 Titans are meeting this early in the playoffs. Yeah, you're going to see 2 Titans battle it out all day long. This could be a fun one.
3rd and 6, single back formation. Couture takes the snap, going to drop back, throws. Got a man open, going to be intercepted by number 51, Ben Horn. And he's still on his feet across midfield. He's got some room down the near side, going to be run out of bounds inside the Spartan 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 at St. Thomas More in Spartan territory at about the 40-yard line.
And this, I think, all goes back to that punt, giving the momentum back to St. Thomas More. You know, you had that 3 and out on the opening offensive possession, and you just felt like, okay, Ridgewood's going to get the ball now. Maybe they can get some momentum. But when that punt goes inside the 10-yard line, that gave St. Thomas More the confidence that they needed defensively on that drive. Played great coverage right there. Got them on a third and medium, kind of a passing situation, and they took advantage.
Shotgun formation, Craddock. Going to send 54. Most ball in the turf, and Bumba going to fall on it for the Sabres. That's the 2nd time we've seen them in the first 5 plays of the contest put the ball in the turf.
Oh, that's just ugly right there. That's miscommunication. It looked like Craddock wasn't ready for the snap right there. Ended up on the ground. And this is those situations last week. Last week it was with penalties, but if you're going to do this, you know, you're going to keep them in the game. If you're St. Thomas More, you want to run them over as the number 1 team. But, man, if you keep doing stuff like this throughout the ball game, I mean, you're 2 possessions in. You've put the ball on the ground twice already.
Single back set again. Going to send number 74 onto the far side. Thomas Crowley. Craddock looking to throw. Is going to dump it off to number 74, and that pass incomplete. Pressure brought up the middle by number 1 for the Spartans, Connor McKay. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 for the Sabres. Clock stopped with 8:02 to play. No score here in the opening quarter.
By the way, feel free to get into the comment section here if you're watching here on YouTube, like Kai did there earlier. Leave us your thoughts, reactions to this game. It's going to be a fun one. I think there's a lot to talk about here in this one, so feel free to get in.
3rd and long, 3rd and 13 for the Sabres. Craddock, shotgun formation. The lone setback is Bumma. Going to hand it off to Bumma. He's going to bounce it out outside, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain inside the 40 to about the 38, we'll call it.
And that is a play call right there that screams they're going for it here on 4th down. You know, 3rd and 13, give it to your big man, see what he can get you, and then, you know, give it a shot on 4th down here. You're too close to punt here. You're at the 38-yard line, so too close to punt, too long for a field goal. So that was kind of a two-down situation, I think, that play call right there.
Empty set, Craddock in the shotgun, Bumba and number 5 to the near side. Craddock's looking to throw. He's got way overshot the intended receiver, Ben Horn.
I have no idea where that ball was going right there. That thing sailed over Ben Horn. He's not the tallest athlete, you know, out there, but, you know, Ben Horn, it would have taken a serious athlete to come down with that one. But
6'4" Ben Horn listed as, and that was well over his head.
Man, if you overshoot a 6'4" receiver like that, you're looking at a long day in the passing game. But like I said, St. Thomas More really doesn't want to pass it all that much, but when their focus is so much on Boomba, you know, that's going to take him out of the ball game.
Single back set for the Spartans, and St. Thomas More is going to strip the ball away. And number
recovered by number 50.
50.
The Sabres will take over.
August Christoph on the fumble recovery, and this has been a turnover fest here in the first couple of minutes. 7:45 to play.
Yeah, you got an interception for Ridgewood, now a fumble for Ridgewood, 2 turnovers. But, the thing that they've got to hang their hat on is you look up at the scoreboard, it's still scoreless with 7:45 left here in the first.
Sabres come out with a double receiver set near side. Going to send Bumba in motion out of the backfield. Shotgun for Craddock. He's looking to throw. Going to be a little dump pass to Bumba. And he's going to go out of bounds inside the 30 for a gain of about 6.
That poor defensive back. Boomba getting the reception right there. He had 1 catch last week for a touchdown, 18-yard touchdown. Really showed off his hands on that touchdown last week. But, when he gets that and picks up some speed, that poor defensive back right there taking the shot, Boomba trying to get the extra yard or 2. That one had to hurt right there. That's going to wake you up here in the first quarter.
Bubba listed at 6'1", 210, as you said, Wyatt. Maybe, I think that's generous.
That's
on the light side.
Yeah.
Going to be hand off to Bubba up the middle, and nice job, number 34 in for the Spartans.
Gavin Franks making the stop right there. Beautiful play.
Hand off to Boomba.
Now it's 3rd and manageable right here. Boomba, getting a couple of – he's touched it twice on this drive already here. I expect him maybe to touch it twice more if they don't get the first down on this play. This is a big 3rd down right here. You've got your 2nd turnover of the day, and now you want to get some points out of this possession here. Otherwise, Ridgewood is really going to be feeling good. Even though they've turned the ball over twice, they're going to be feeling really good if they can turn away St. Thomas More.
3rd and 3 from the Spartan 27 for the Sabres. Shotgun set, snap, Craddock, hand off to Bumba. He's going to drop the football again.
Hand off to Boomba again.
And he's going to lose about 4 or 5 on the play.
That will bring up 4th down.
And this is just a night and day difference. You'll hear me say, oh my. This is just night and day difference from what I saw last week. Last week he was the engine that you could not stop, and now you've seen him put it on the ground twice already in the first quarter. I don't know. Something might be off. He was battling last week. He left with a stinger a couple of times, missed a couple of plays. Arguably could have had 30 carries if he didn't miss those couple of plays. But I don't know if that's what's bothering him right now, but something's not right.
So loss of 6 makes it 4th and 10. Craddock shotgun, empty set. Looks to throw, double pumps, triple pumps. Going to take off. He's got a man open. It's Bumba. And Bumba has to play defensive back as that ball underthrown. Roy Sandberg on the coverage, and Sandberg almost with a pick, but if not for Bumba coming back and playing defensive back.
Yeah, and he showed that he can play defensive back last week with those 2 interceptions, but man, that's, another one of those possessions that you feel like you let that one get away. You had 3rd and manageable, and then Boomba puts the ball on the ground. Like I said, something just seems a little off right now. I don't know if it's that knee issue that he was dealing with. I don't know if it was cramps, whatever he was dealing with last week. Something just doesn't look right in Peace Boomba.
So a 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 35. The handoff around the near side.
Hand off to number 25, Roy
Sandberg right there.
Play by number 7.
Gain of about 3. Bumba on the stop for the Sabres.
Thomas Copey.
Sandberg's the biggest of the 3 backs that they use. Like I said, they've got 21, 23, and 25. He's the biggest one, 6'1", 165 pounds. But like I said, I'm surprised I haven't seen Moriarty yet on the field yet, but haven't seen him get a carry.
The handoff and a big hole, number 21, Taylor Snook. He's into Sabre territory. First down, brought down by Bell. All the way down inside the, well, they're going to mark it right at the 43.
What a play right there. The hole just opened up like the Red Sea right there. Taylor Snook, that was very impressive. I was just saying, you expect to see Snook maybe get a couple more carries, and he just went off on that one. What a beautiful play, and now here come the Spartans.
First and 10, 4:50 to play here in the opening quarter, no score. And again, a snap
recovered by number
and
3,
a fumble. Riley Couture
Second
falling
down
on the
for
football, and
Spartans.
that just looked like Couture stepped back away from center before he had control of the ball.
Yeah, and either one of these teams, you know, whoever wins this game and moves on to the semifinals next week, they're going to spend a majority, at least of one day, practicing this snapping right here. You've seen just some bad timings on snap. You saw St. Thomas More do the same. Just saw Ridgewood do it. We've seen the ball on the ground 3 times already in the first quarter.
Loss of 1 for the Spartans, 2nd and 11. Handoff, first back, that is Snook, I believe. And he's going to gain about 5 or so on the play.
Number 21, Taylor Snook, stopped on the play by number 55.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see more of Snook as we go through this ball game here. I think he will ultimately be the lead back here in this game. I just think he is the better athlete. He's the senior. You know, that leadership, he knows what he's doing out there. Not to take anything away from Roy Sandberg, who is a junior, but Taylor Snook, he's impressed me the 2 times I've seen him.
James Schmidt on the stop for the Sabres. 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. Got a 3:29 to play here in the opening quarter, no score. And it's going to be a handoff, number 25 on the carry. And he's going to get run out of bounds. It looks like short of the first down.
Late flag came in, very late flag. I don't know what this could be, if it's going to be a block in the back or something, but
Holding on the Spartans.
okay. Kai says, my goodness, a fumble fest here so far. Yeah, you've got that right, Kai. And now, you know, the team that was dealing with penalties a lot last week, St. Thomas More, now Ridgewood really dealing with the penalty issue right now. You've turned a 3rd and kind of a manageable 7. Now it's 3rd and 17 with them taking this penalty here. So this is a huge couple of plays here. Don't have to get it all on this play, but you do want to pick up a good portion of it here on this first play.
3:20 to play, 3rd and 15 for the Spartans from their own the Sabre 48.
About going for it on 4th down. Now I think this is a punting situation, and the punter is out there for Ridgewood.
Looks like Bell going to drop back for the Sabres. 24. To punt it away. A nice punt. Going to hit at about the 15 and take a Spartan bounce momentarily, and going to be down by number 25, Sandberg.
I think that took a both team bounce right there. Like it looked like it was going to take a St. Thomas More bounce there at the end, but started taking a Spartan bounce at the start. I don't know if I've ever seen a punt do that before.
Yeah, it definitely started as a Spartan bounce and then hit once and kicked back. So the Sabres set up 1st and 10 from their own 18. Still no score between the Spartans and the Sabres.
That $5 pork chops are still available in the concession.
I'll tell you, one of them $5 pork chops they're advertising right now sounds pretty good right about now, doesn't it there, Chris?
It does. I don't know about getting any more food here, but we kind of
have
some bees.
Yeah, we're getting attacked by bees too, so that's probably not a good idea.
Craddock's going to fire on 1st down, caught by Bell. Looks like a gain just short of the 25, a gain of about 7.
Good play by Ben Horn right there. Positive yards on 1st down. You don't have to get those big plays on 1st down. Just get 5 or 6 yards. Set yourself up with a 2nd and manageable. Yeah, I never understood these teams who try to go for the home run ball on 1st down. You've got 4 downs, obviously, to play with. You know, get 2, 3, 4, even the 5, 6 yards on this play, and now you're set up with a 2nd and 4, 2nd and manageable.
Right at 2 minutes to play, 2nd and 4 for the Sabres. Craddock, shotgun formation, handoff to Bumba's going to bounce it up near side. Good pursuit by the Spartans. He's going to be wrapped up by number 25. Roy Sandberg, and number 4, Owen Anderson, also on the stop. A gain of, we're going to call it Owen a gain of 2. So 3rd and about 3 for the Sabres. 1:35 to play here in a scoreless first quarter.
And you see Boomba do that a lot. He likes to bump it to the outside after getting that first contact. And Ridgewood, to their credit, they haven't let him get outside and pick up speed. So they've had the perfect game plan here 1 quarter in. So we'll see if this works out for them.
Shotgun set, Craddock. Lone setback is Bumba. He's going to send number 88 in motion to the far side. Bumba on the carry, and there's Again, a nice stop, number 21, Taylor Snook. He's going to lose about a half a yard, it looks like, on the play, and a 4th and a 4 for the Sabres. There's one down under a minute to play in this opening quarter.
3 and out again. Second time we've seen St. Thomas More go 3 and out. And now you're set up with a punting situation here, and St. Thomas More really wanting a good punt here. Nobody back for Ridgewood. And that's another good punt right there. My goodness gracious, look at this thing.
Inside down near the 10-yard line.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Well, you've got no coverage, returner back. That line drive kick worked out beautifully for the Sabres. 33.9 seconds to play. Ball all the way down on that punt to the Ridgewood 12-yard line.
That's a 60-plus yard punt right there with nobody back. I bet Ridgewood doesn't do this whole nobody back the rest of the game, because that's 2 punts right there to completely change. It flips field position. It changes momentum. Things like that matter. That's why special teams is so important when you get to playoff time here. And when you have a punter that can do that, boy, St. Thomas More, they got to be feeling really good, even though they haven't been able to move the ball right now. And Damian in the comments saying, yeah, Boomba's struggling, Ridgewood upset, ? You kind of got to ask that, but right now the special teams is what's saving St. Thomas More right now.
So a 1st and 10 for the Sabres from the Spartans, I should say, from their own 12-yard line. Handoff number 20. Nope, quarterback's going to keep it. And he's got some room across the 20, out of bounds.
Number 3,
at about the 21, 22-yard line, close to the first down. Run out of bounds by Peace Bumba.
That might be what Ridgewood has to do, a little trickeration right there. We thought everybody was fooled in thinking that the one back was going to get, I think that was Sandberg who would have got it. But that's the kind of trickeration I think that Ridgewood needs against this very stout St. Thomas More defense.
Gain of 6 on the play for Couture. So 2nd and 4, ball at the Spartan 19. 27.6 seconds to play here in the opening quarter. Surprisingly, scoreless first quarter. Toward under center, going to hand off the lead back. That's number 21, Snook, and he's got some room. It's going to be a foot race. Bumba's going to catch him from behind and push him down from behind at the 40, inside the 45 to about the 42-yard line.
I mean, there's Taylor Snook again on that big play right there, which that's going to flip the field position here. Beautiful play, but that also shows off the strength of Peace Boomba, who can catch the guy. Showed off his
son. But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Back here at Cambridge High School, Ridgewood Spartans and the Sabres, this Champaign St. Thomas More, heading to the second quarter scoreless. Be a Ridgewood football at the Sabre 42 as we flip ends.
What a bizarre first quarter that was. Was that one of the most bizarre first quarters of football you've ever seen?
It's definitely up there. I expected a couple of scores at the end of the first quarter. Biggest thing is both teams have had trouble holding on to the football in that opening quarter.
I think we saw 3 fumbles in that quarter. We saw an interception and a fumble that was lost. So I think 4 fumbles altogether and 2 turnovers, no score. But we're coming off a big play from Taylor Snook just a minute ago.
38-yard play to set up the Spartans' 1st and 10. Going to be handoff to Sandberg. And he's into the secondary of the Sabres inside the 25, down at about the 23-yard line. And another Spartan first down.
Yeah, Kai brought up a point in the comments section while we were on break here. He says he's blaming the St. Thomas More offensive line. I think it's more the Ridgewood defensive line is just playing one of the best games, which they needed to play one of the best games of their life against a guy like Peace Boomba. You know, Boomba's been struggling right now, but like I said, I think something is off. You know, he was dealing with that injury last week, in case you missed me talking about it in the first quarter.
And he's going to have the football go to the far side. He's going to have a nice gain of about, we'll call it a gain of 5.
And number 74.
I mean, Snook has had 2 really, really big plays here today. that have really flipped the field and, have been able to pin St. Thomas more deep back into their own territory. Now, they haven't been able to take advantage after those big runs, but Taylor Snook is running really, really well so far. And I expect him to get so much more carries as we go along here.
78 yards on 6 carries for Mr. Snook for the Spartans. 2nd and 5 from the Sabre 18. Got a handoff and into the end zone. He's got one man to beat. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. Preston Moriarty into the end zone from 18 yards out and puts the Spartans on top 6-0 with 10:32 to play here in the opening half.
Preston Moriarty, when I was here a couple weeks ago in the Battle of the Spartans, Ridgewood versus Bushnell-Prairie City, he had a massive day. I think he had 2 touchdowns in that game. I wasn't able to keep stats, but I do remember saying his name a lot in that ball game, and he shows off the reason why. One of the few carries that he's gotten here in the game, one of the few times I've seen him on the field here today, and he runs untouched into the end zone.
It's like Snook, the lone setback behind Couture, as they're going to go for 2. And off to Moriarty this time, and nowhere to go. He's brought down, that would be Sandberg, I should say.
I'll update our scoreboard here. Touchdown Ridgewood, 6-0 now our score, as Chris dealing with a little
tickle
in the throat. We'll take a timeout. We're back after this. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And back here at Cambridge High School, 6-0 lead for the Ridgewood Spartans.
Lion King's dad in the comment section predicting 3 touchdowns from number 25, and that would be Roy Sandberg. And while your prediction might be a little off if they keep giving the ball to Preston Moriarty, who ran it in for a touchdown just moments ago, but Sandberg is a good option to have a pretty good day.
Going to high kick again, going to bounce and be fielded off the bounce by number 88, Michael Russell. So the Sabres will take over 1st and 10 from their own 36, it looks like.
As I'm running the camera, I remember I have to flip the quarter that we're in right now.
10:31 to play here in the first half, 1st and 10 for the Sabres.
Lion King's dad corrected himself in the comments. He said he meant number 23, so he's projecting a big game from Preston Moriarty, which he did have a big game against Bushnell a couple weeks ago, so wouldn't be surprised.
Craddock out of the shotgun. Snap going to hand it off to Bumba. Bumba's going to try to bounce it outside, and a nice job, number 21, Snook, getting Bumba by the bottom of the jersey and hanging on. And Bumba going to be a little slow getting up as he's going to lose about 5 on the play.
And this is what I wondered, if that nagging knee injury that he was dealing with last week, if that's going to come back, and he's still down right now. That is unfortunate to see. You don't want to see one of the best players in the state of Illinois in 8-man football go down here in the quarterfinals. So we hope it's just a little stinger that he'll be able to recover from. But let's talk about Ridgewood right here. Bumba's been trying to bump the ball outside as we've gone through this entire game so far, and he just hasn't been able to get there. Snook was able to make the play there just a moment ago, but I mean, it's been very fascinating when Bumba's so used to getting outside and making space and getting into that open space and picking up speed. The fact that Ridgewood is there in the backfield basically every single play, that's been the difference here in this ball game.
Yeah, it has. I've been very impressed with the defensive pursuit of the Spartans. So loss of 5 for Bumba. Clock stop 10.
I'm just so impressed with just everywhere they are right now. Everywhere St. Thomas More goes, there is a Ridgewood Spartan. At least one. A lot of times it's 2 or 3, and that's why St. Thomas More hasn't been able to move the ball so far here in this game.
So 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 for the Sabres. Ball at their own 33. Craddock's going to air it out. He's got a man open. Again, that intended receiver, number 51, Ben Horn, way out of the reach again. So a 4th and 13 for St. Thomas More.
Yeah, another overthrow right there. Ben Horn looked like he had the angle. He had a step on his defender there. But, you know, another not great throw from Reed Craddock. And you don't want to be too hard on him, but some of those passes as the starting quarterback, you got to be able to make those passes, especially when your guy runs the route, beats the defender, and, boy, and now Ridgewood's got somebody back.
Bell with another high kick, going to be fielded at about the 30. Number 42 on the return. Sean Watt.
Returned by number 42, Sean Watt.
Wow.
And we got a Sabre player down, and he took quite a pop here on the near sideline.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's why you put a guy back there. You would argue that on those 2 punts, the one was over 60 yards. You would argue on those 2 punts that if Ridgewood had somebody back to return, you could have had similar plays. But instead, St. Thomas More was able to flip the field position with the great punts. Ridgewood finally put somebody back in coverage on the punt return, and now they're able to flip the field. Now they're almost at midfield. I don't know what the thought process was there on those first 2 punts right there, but Ridgewood definitely making the right decision, sending a guy back, and now they're set up at about the 46-yard line, I'd say.
Looks like they moved it out close to the
47, actually.
Well, they moved it back, so we'll call it 46 and a half.
Penalty just came in. Sideline warning on St. Thomas More, it looks like. Yep. Yep. Making sure it was on the right team there.
So a 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 46.
That might just be frustration starting to sit in. You're the number 1 team in the state. St. Thomas More, a little frustration maybe setting in.
Especially under center. Hand off to the lone setback. That is Snook, and he's running over people still on his feet. He's going to go 10-5. Touchdown, Spartans. 54 yards on the score.
Well, that's going to put him well over 100 yards here in the first half on just a few carries. I mean, Taylor Snook, have a day here in the state quarterfinal. What a beautiful play, and what a day so far for Ridgewood as a whole. And now, thanks to Taylor Snook, they've got a 12-0 lead on the number 1 team.
So 12-0 in favor of Ridgewood. Couture under center. And a handoff to the back on the far side, and he's in for the 2 points. Excuse me, Moriarty into the end zone for the score. That pushes the lead to 14-0. 8:56 to play here in the opening half. We'll be back here to Cambridge High School in just a moment. Yeah, we'll just keep it here.
I got it.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
We're back here to Cambridge, Illinois. Ridgewood on top of St. Thomas More, 14-0, and this has been pretty much total dominance by the Spartans here in this first half.
It really has. Their defense has been able to bottle up the number 1 player that we talked about coming in, Peace Boomba. Now he's dealing with a little nagging injury issue, and this one could get out of hand if St. Thomas More is unable to answer.
Wait, we got an official blew the whistle on this side.
I was confused. The officials blew the whistle as the play started, but then St. Thomas More muffed the kick, and I think Ridgewood ended up with the football, but I don't know why the whistle was going off.
I'm not sure either. They're going to get together.
We might have to replay that one. Oh, they're going to give it to St. Thomas More. And inadvertent whistle is what they say.
Oh, we're going to re-kick it. They signaled first down, and now they're going to walk back and let Ridgewood kick it again.
Yeah, I don't – man, that's a tough break right there. Ridgewood side definitely didn't like it because they thought they ended up with the football. Man, that is bizarre. You know, the craziness that has ensued here in this game, and we're only a quarter plus in.
Oh, high. And that time it's going to be fielded again by Roselle.
Fielded by number 88, Michael Russell.
I think Michael Russell's going to be getting a lot of kick returns, or at least kick catches. But man, oh man, the short kicks for Ridgewood setting up St. Thomas More again with excellent field position. But, you know, that's just the confidence that Ridgewood has in their defense right now. They can give St. Thomas More good field position, and it doesn't matter.
No.
They've been able to stop them all day long.
And no piece Bumba in the back in this contest right now for St. Thomas More. He was in on the defensive side on Snook's touchdown run. So Craddock, empty set, shotgun formation. He's going to look to throw, fires short of the intended receiver. 88.
42, Sean Watts, 2nd and 10.
Watts on the defense for the Spartans.
Good coverage right there. You know, it's like I mentioned earlier, just wherever a Sabre has been this afternoon, there's been a Spartan as well. The coverage has been absolutely perfect. I don't know if I've ever seen a team in 8-man football play as good a defense in a state quarterfinal game as we're watching right now. This is one of the best defensive performances we've seen in a first half in quite some time.
Bumba in the backfield now. He'll be the lone setback as Craddock goes shotgun again, 2nd and 10. 8:49 counting here in the first half. Going to be handoff to Bumba up the middle. And there's what we expect to see as he's hanging on by the jersey from the backside.
And maybe that'll get St. Thomas More the little bit of momentum that they've looked for. Some kind of spark. And it doesn't take much in a football game. It just takes a run like that. Peace Boomba dealing with an injury right now. The ability right there to break through tackles and basically have Ridgewood grasping onto his jersey for dear life. That could be the play that gets the Sabres back into this thing.
Gain of 12 and the first down for the Sabres in this contest with 8:30 to play. Craddock going to take the shotgun snap, looks to throw. Got a man open, number 51.
That's Horn.
And that's another first down for St. Thomas More. Going to get it inside the 35 to the 30. 32, they're going to mark it.
That's the best throw that we've seen so far from Reed Craddock. You know, we've seen a couple of passes from him here in this ball game sail over Ben Horn's head. Now he was able to get him. Good coverage by Ridgewood. They were playing some good defense on that play, but Craddock was able to hit Horn in the right spot, and now they've got 1st and 10 inside the 35.
7:40 to play. That'll be a timeout taken by Ridgewoods here, their first of the half. 7:40 to play here in the first half. We're going to step aside, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Back here at Cambridge High School, 14-0 lead for the Ridgewood Spartans. Be 1st and 10 for the St. Thomas More Sabres at the Spartan 32-yard line. Out the Spartan timeout.
And just before we went to timeout, we got a comment on our YouTube chat stream here. Christina Gunther in the comments saying, so proud of my nephew Taylor Snook, who's had an unbelievable day so far, and it's just getting underway. And this entire Ridgewood team, dreams can come true. Ridgewood feeling good right now, but St. Thomas More coming alive here recently.
So 1st and 10 for the Sabres. Bumba, the lone set back in the backfield with Craddock. Bumba's going to bounce it out to the outside, and he's, nice back pursuit. I thought Bumba had a ton of room.
Not a lot of people are going to catch up to
Peyton
Peace.
Moriarty.
Not a lot of people are going to catch up to Peace Boomba. Penalty, though, on the field, it looks like. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Ridgewood. So that's going to add more to the Sabres drive right here. But not a lot of people can catch him from behind, and the fact that they were able to – Preston Moriarty, who's also having a pretty good day here, the fact that he was able to catch him on that play.
Coming over to talk to Coach Elder, looked like maybe it was a shove in the back or something.
Could have been.
So I'll move it down to the Ridgewood 14, 1st and 10 for the Sabres. Craddock going to go under center. Hand off Bumba off the left side. Good pursuit. There's 3 blue jerseys there. Owen Anderson, number 4 on the stop for the Spartans. A couple other blue jerseys there as well.
I mean, it just, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's just one of those things where when you see Boomba try to get to the outside, usually all season long, he's been able to get to the outside, but today he just hasn't. And like you said, there was 2 to 3 Ridgewood jerseys right there basically once he touches the ball. And Boomba, give him credit for getting 2 or 3 on that. They gave him 3 on the play, so it's 2nd down and 7 looking at the yard marker.
See Marty Devaney in the backfield, going to send him out to the far side as Craddock going to take the shotgun snap. Right-hander fires and nearly intercepted the intended receiver, number 51, Horn. Preston Moriarty on the coverage, and that ball nearly picked off.
Yeah, I don't know who, that you say it was intended for Horn, but I didn't see Horn anywhere in the shot right there. But, that was a dangerous pass right there. And now you're set up with a 3rd and 7 at the 10-yard line. Can still get a first down without getting a touchdown. But this is a very important drive right here for St. Thomas More.
Clock stop with 6:23 to play here in the first half. Again, shotgun set for Craddock. Bumba the lone setback. Horn the receiver to the far side. Bumba the handoff. Excuse me. Going to break one tackle, but going to come up a little short of the first down. Sticks on the far side. It looks like Snook.
Wow, I thought that would have been a little more generous of a spot, but that was a great defensive play, I guess, for Ridgewood. When you're covering these games, the angles can be a little off depending on where you're broadcasting from. So the angle that we had, I thought he was close to the sticks, but now it's 4th and 4. This is a big play right here.
Peyton Moriarty actually on the stop for the Spartans. Now the Sabres going to take their first timeout with 5:46 to play. We'll step aside and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
5:46 to play here in the opening half. The Spartans on top 14-0, but had a big pivotal 4th down coming up here for St. Thomas More. They've got a 4th and about 4 from the Ridgewood 7-yard line.
And this is the biggest play of the game right here. This is the best St. Thomas More's offense has looked so far here, but if you come here and stumble on 4th down inside the 10-yard line, that'd be a tough way to end this drive.
Going to send Boomba out near side. 2 receivers to the near side. Craddock takes the shotgun snap. Got some pressure and in and out. The hands nearly picked off by number 4 again, Owen Anderson. And a turnover and downs gives it back to the Spartans from their own 7.
Yeah, you feel like that play might have a big impact on how the rest of this game goes. That was the best offense that we'd seen so far in this game for St. Thomas More. And Boomba finally looked like he was starting to get his legs underneath him. But then, you end up with a 4th and 4 situation. And now you have to turn it over. But here defensively, this is a big defensive sequence right here. You want a 3 and out when you've got them at their own 7-yard line. So important to get a stop here, a 3 and out. or at least get them to punt it within 4 or 5 plays and try to get another chance before half, because St. Thomas More doesn't get the ball at the half.
Right.
It goes to Ridgewood.
So 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 7. Couture under center. He's going to keep it, and he's got some room. He's going to get out of bounds at about the 15, close to a first down, about a gain of 8, we'll call it, on first down.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen Couture use his legs here today, and both times have worked out pretty good. You know, that one, a gain of 6 right there, so you're set up with a 2nd and 4. And, you know, those are the trickeration plays that I talked about earlier in the game that Ridgewood, I think, needs, and they've showed it. You know, they've come out here with those trick plays, and everybody expected one of the backs to get it, and instead the quarterback runs with it for a gain of 6.
Couture under center. They hand off to the back number 8, and that's going to be number 25, Sandberg. It's going to be a foot race, and he's going to run out of bounds right at midfield. Enough for a big gain there. 37 yards. Nope, they're going to call him out at the 43, so gain.
So that's a gain of 30 right there. And, I mean, that's just a backbreaker right there for St. Thomas More. You had them at the 7-yard line, and, you know, you get a defensive stop, 3 and out. You're feeling pretty good, but, man, now you give up that big play. They're at the 40-yard line. Now, even if Ridgewood has to punt it, you're still going to be pinned back in your own territory.
5:26 to play. Couture under center, 1st and 10 for the Spartans. He hand off to the lead back. That would be Snook. And he's got another first down for Ridgewood inside the Sabre 45 down to about the 44.
Wow. You know, we heard from Christina Gunther earlier in the comments section saying that she was proud of her nephew. I mean, you got a good reason to be. If Snook is just running like a madman right now, and that play right there showed it. He was carrying 2 or 3 Sabres with him on that play. And that's just what he's been doing all day long. Snook, he's got to be, you know, well over 150 yards right now.
8 carries, 149.
Oh, so I was close.
There. That was a pretty good guess. 1st and 10 for the Spartans from the Sabre 47. Couture, hand off again, blown back, and another nice gain. Snook.
And that on first down right there, 6 yards. You'll take that every single time, obviously. But Snook, this just goes back to how good he is. And even though he's on our roster sheet listed as a tight end, he runs like some of the best running backs in the state of Illinois. And the way he's running right now, you could put that argument there that he is one of the best in this Elite 8.
Very impressive performance thus far for Snook. 4:40 to play here in the first half. 1st and 10, or 2nd and 4 for the Spartans from the Sabre 40. Going to hand off this time Moriarty, and he's going to get a couple on the play, it looks like. And we're going to get a holding flag penalty on the Spartans.
Yeah, that one might take the wind out of the sails of Ridgewood here for just a moment here, but you've seen it on these last couple of plays, just the chunk yardages on that first play at the 7-yard line. They were able to get 4 or 5 yards, which gave them the confidence, and then that big play that happened after it. But, I mean, they're at least getting 5-6 yards of play, if that. You know, they're getting such great push up front. And right now, St. Thomas More, they've got to be gassed because their defense has been out there a long, long time here today.
So the penalty going to move it back to midfield and set up a 2nd and 13 for Ridgewoods. 4:09 to play here in the first half. Spartans on top, 14-0. Handoff going to be to
Handoff to number 21.
Snook.
Stopped on a play by number 9, Marty Devaney.
Yeah, you always have to take a minute to see who's going to get the ball, since they've got 3 different options, to hand the ball off to. And their numbers are very similar, 21, 23, and 25. Always got to, pause just a few minutes just to make sure you're getting the right number there. But I tell you, now you're set up with a 3rd down and long. This is the biggest play of the game, I feel, for the Sabres. They need to get the ball back here and they need to try to go down and score before the half. Otherwise, you go into the half down 2 scores the way Ridgewood's playing defensively.
And the Spartans get the football.
And they get the football. Yeah.
So 3rd and 10. Timeout going to be taken by the Spartans. They're second of the half with 3:18 to play. We'll step aside and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets a much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
Back here at Cambridge High School, Ridgewood Spartans taking their second time out of the half. Big 3rd down and 10 for Ridgewood from the Sabre 46. 3:18 to play here in the first half, and the Spartans on top by 2 scores, 14-0 over the Sabres. Twerk going to hand off. It's going to be a halfback pass. It's going to be intercepted. Moriarty on the pass, going to be picked off by number 9, Marty Devaney for the Sabres. And you talk about a momentum swing there. There's one in favor of St. Thomas More.
I don't know about that play call right there. I don't know if you really needed to do the trickery. We talked a little bit ago about how they were getting 5-6 yards of play over the last couple of drives. I don't understand that play call right there, having the halfback throw the ball and throwing it into coverage. And now here you go. St. Thomas More, this drive, oh so important here going into the half, down 2 scores.
And again, no piece bump on the field for the Sabres. Craddock going to take the shotgun snap. He's going to take off and run with it. He's got good positive yardage across the 40. Gain of 7. Well, called a gain of 8 across the 45.
Mara in the comment section. Thanks for getting in here. Feel free to get into the comment section. Mara, she's cheering for the Sabres, says, let's go Sabres. You can do this. They're going to have to buckle down here if they're going to try to get this done, because they're playing one of the hottest teams in the state right now. And, doing it at their place, it's not going to be an easy task.
3:01 to go. First half, 2nd and 2 for the Sabres from their 45. Going to take the snap, going to throw. He's got a man open on the far side, number 88.
Rossell.
Rossell,
yeah.
He's going to have a first down for the Sabres.
And, with Peace Boomba, now he's back in. He's in the huddle right now. But with Peace Boomba dealing with whatever injury he's dealing with right now, he's not at 100%. You got to try to find guys that can produce. And Rossell's been able to show off his hands in the kick coverage game, so I think maybe bringing him into the passing game might not be a bad idea for the Sabres.
Boomba in the backfield, shotgun formation for Craddock, 2:55 to play. Craddock's going to look to throw, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Take your pick. I think the first man there was number 25, Roy Sandberg, for the Spartans. It's going to be a big loss. 10 or better back inside midfield to about the 44-yard line in Sabre territory.
I mean, that's the beauty of small-town football. When you've got kids that can play both sides of the ball, then you've got Roy Sandberg playing linebacker. Even though he's your running back on the offensive side, he's got that running back speed to get into the backfield and cause all sorts of problems. And he was able to do it on that play. And now you're set up with a 2nd and 17. And, St. Thomas More, the Sabres really need a big play here, but where's it going to come from?
And we got the count on in the back. Judge, the Sabres going to take a timeout here. 2:03 to play. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back here at Cambridge High School in just a moment.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
And we're back here at Cambridge High School. Gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Barely clouds in the sky, no breeze, and I couldn't ask for any better weather than this for early November.
Yeah, we'll take this every single time because we know what is looming large. And, when we maybe do some semifinal games for TSSR next week, it might be a different story. Hopefully it's not, but you never know. You'll certainly take this, but a big sequence here. You're coming out of timeout here. You've used your last timeout if you're the St. Thomas More Sabres. 2nd and 17, you kind of wonder if they're going to just be happy to take it to the half right now, down 2 scores, just because they haven't been able to get anything going here. But I feel like they have to score on this drive.
It's like Bumba going to take the snap now out of the shotgun. It's going to be a run to the near side. He's got some room. Nice pursuit again by Ridgewood. 51 on the stop. Rowdy Beam, junior for the Spartans.
Yeah,
he's going to gain about 8 of those 17 back.
Well, and we saw in the first quarter, we saw Boomba struggle. I don't know if it was with the handoff from the quarterback that he was getting, but he put the ball on the ground twice. So maybe that's just a way of mixing it up a little bit, but now he splits out as a receiver.
Oh, offside, going to be a false start as all 3 receivers on the far side jumped.
Everybody wanted to get in their route. I don't know if it was a hard count on that one, but you're trying to get a free play maybe, or at least free 5 yards.
3rd and 15.
But now you're set up with 3rd and very long. Penalties were the big issue last week for St. Thomas More against Bushnell-Prairie City. Haven't really seen much of them, the issues here. There have been issues other places, but when you're trying to go down to score, going into half, you don't want to be committing any pre-snap penalties.
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining, 1:28 to play. 4 receivers set. Craddock shotgun snap again. Got Bumba open on the far side. He's going to make a man miss, but again, good pursuit by the Ridgewood defense. Going to come up about 3 or 4 yards short.
Yeah, that was
Sandberg on the stop for the Spartans.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Chris, but that was excellent open field tackling right there with how much room Boomba had. I thought he was going to break like 5 or 6 tackles and make his way into the end zone right there. Now it's a 4th and about 4, maybe 5 situation now. And one of the big plays so far here is Lily in the comments cheering on her Sabres. And this is a very important play and how this game is going to go. 45 seconds left. It doesn't look like St. Thomas More is in any hurry. They want to be the last ones to touch it.
Going to take their 3rd time out here. Yes, they will. Coach Nathan Watson takes their 3rd and final timeout. 37.6 seconds to play. We'll step aside and be back here from Cambridge High School on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in just a moment.
When I walk in and talk to my patients, I like my patients first and foremost to feel comfortable. I like to keep it real with them. I like them to know that I'm there to listen to them and to help them understand some of the processes that they may be going through. The most rewarding aspect that I feel with caring for patients is when those patients come back in and they tell me how much better they feel for something that I have helped them accomplish in their health care.
Back here at Cambridge, Illinois, Cambridge High School, Ridgewood Spartans leading the #1 seed St. Thomas More Sabres 14-0 out of the timeout. Their final for St. Thomas More. They'll have it 4th and 4 from the Ridgewood 43-yard line.
Spartans will take over 1st and 10.
And a turnover and downs. 31.6 seconds to play. Ridgewood will have it 1st and 10 from their own 43.
1 timeout still for Ridgewood, so you wonder if they're going to be happy to maybe take a 14-point lead into the half or if they're going to maybe try to run a little 2-minute offense here. Neither team really likes to throw the football, but they've got some weapons in the passing game that they certainly could do that, but it does look like they're going to maybe go into a time-saving formation here.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Handoff, lead back. That's Snook, and he's going to be out close to a 1st down. Gain of about 9. 22 seconds to play. Don't see, Ridgewood's coach is taking their headsets off. And that will do it for our first half here in a dominant second quarter. I wouldn't say the first quarter was dominant, but a dominant second quarter by Ridgewood's going to put them on top 14-0 as we head to halftime here at Cambridge High School.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Back here at halftime in Cambridge, Illinois, at 14-0 lead for the Ridgewood Spartans here at the half. And Wyatt, not surprised, but just a little bit surprised, I guess, with the score, but a little surprised that there's no points on the board for St. Thomas More here at half.
I think the biggest surprise is just how they've been able to take one of the best players in the state of Illinois, excuse me, at his position in number 7, Peace Boomba. They've essentially made him non-existent here in this game. I think that is the biggest surprise. You know, there was a lot of chatter coming into this week that Ridgewood, it might be one of those teams, especially based off the performance St. Thomas More had last week, which you look at the score last week for St. Thomas More against Bushnell-Prairie City, a 34-12 game. You know, you look at that score and you think, oh, well, they kind of had control. Really, they did not. I mean, they were kind of shooting themselves in the foot and keeping Bushnell in the ball game throughout most of that second half. So I think that's why the chatter coming into this weekend was that Ridgewood might be able to pull it off against the number 1 team. And right now, they are well on their way. If they continue to play, it's hard to play 4 quarters as well as Ridgewood did. But they're certainly off to a good start. But you know, that I think was the biggest surprise, was the fact that the best player in the state of Illinois at his position, Peace Boomba, one of them anyway, is basically non-existent right now. And he did go down with an injury, so I don't know if that had something to do with it. But he's trying to play through that injury. But, you know, somebody's got to step up and make a play for St. Thomas More. Otherwise, this thing could get out of hand pretty early in the second half. If Ridgewood, who gets the ball coming out of half, if they go down and score, it could start getting out of hand early for St. Thomas More, the number 1 seed.
Do have some score updates at halftime. Surprise, Polo 20, Milledgeville 8.
Okay.
Second quarter, Clippers all over the Falcons, 48-7. Amboy on top of Flanagan in that contest.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter. I talked about it with the boss man and some other people at St. Thomas More last week. Amboy is probably the team to beat here in 8-man. The way they're playing right now, and they're up 48-7 early on in that contest. They certainly look like the team to beat right now, but a lot of things can change between now and state championship day.
That is for sure, and that's just hard to believe. We're only less than 2 weeks away from that on the night of the 17th at April Zorn Stadium on the campus of Monmouth College.
Got a comment here from one of our viewers, Mawaso. Hopefully I said that name right there. Mawaso Bumba. So wondering if he's related to Mr. Boomba out there. But he says we've been here before, Martinsville. So he says let's go Sabres. So this is he feels like this team is one of those teams that can come back from being in a tough situation at halftime. I don't know how that game actually played out before it. If they were in a similar situation in that game, they've certainly got that experience, and it's going to be interesting to see how they respond coming into our second half of action here in Cambridge. It's a little trickier, though, to do it on the road in the state quarterfinal game, though, I will say.
Yes, it is, as we've got about 10 minutes on the clock.
Trying to find those two games in. Did we get the stat number? What was the first half stats for Snook right there?
I got him. We can run that down real quick. I unofficially, and by default it means I call this unofficially by my count, 11 carries, 167 yards for Mr. Snook. Roy Sandberg, 4 carries for 71. Preston Moriarty, 3 carries for 17. And Riley Torr, 3 carries for 13. Passing, as you said, not much there for the Ridgewood Spartans. 1 of 2 for Torr, 13 for 39 yards. Craddock on the ground with that big sack there late in the second half. Got him 3 carries for -6. Beast Bumba with just 33 yards on 10 carries. Hanging on to the football.
That was so bizarre in that first quarter. You know, the way that this game got started, you saw on the first snap of the game, the first carry of the game for Peace Boomba, it was hacked. So then they handed it off to Boomba, and Boomba put the ball on the ground. And now they were able to fall back on top of it. But, you know, that was maybe kind of a precursor of how this game was going to go, but it certainly maybe should have been. Because then what happened in that first quarter, it was kind of a very sloppy first quarter. Both teams had trouble hanging onto the ball, a couple of turnovers for both teams in that first quarter. But here we are, 14-0 at the half. And, you know, it is still a 2-possession game. As much credit as we're giving Ridgewood right now, you got to credit St. Thomas more, I think, for staying in and keeping it a 2-possession game because with the situations that Ridgewood has had, they have had the chance maybe to run this thing to a 3 or even 4-score game at this point. But St. Thomas
had some 2 scores of the 2 of the other 3 games going on in 8-man. Polo at the half over Milledgeville, and a little bit of a surprise there, 20-8 at the break, and Amboy leading Flanagan 48-7 in the second quarter. In that Clipper squad, as you said,
to see them yet, but I do know that they are an extremely dangerous team that a lot of people, you know, were looking at that didn't want to face them, even though they don't have the number 1 right next to them. You know, they certainly are playing like the number 1 team in the state right now.
Yes, they are. So again, 14-0 here at Ridgewood, Cambridge High School. Thanks for tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Chris Ranger's Wyatt Reed here again on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Pull out the old weather app and actually see what our current temperature actually is.
Now, we do have some confirmation from Mowasso Boomba in the comments from earlier when we were talking about how the Sabres have been in this situation before. Same exact situation they were before. Down 14-0 at half against Martinsville in Week 9. St. Thomas More came back to win 20-14. Let's see St. Thomas More play some ball this half. That's from Mr. Boomba in the comments. And then we've got Captain Monmouth College, very excited for that as part of the TSSR team now. Hoping that we get some very exciting teams to make their way there. But, you know, if you do got those scores, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you got any reaction to what you saw in the first half, you know, we certainly appreciate you guys coming in because you going into the comments, leaving these comments, and just interacting with our stream, that's what keeps us going here at TSSR. Yep. It's how we're able to go out there. It's why we do it. We do it for you guys, the fans. And if you've got a reaction and you want to leave your thoughts, this is your stream as well. Feel free to leave those comments, and if we can, we'll get to them. Kai said, I wouldn't be so sure. Amboy only beat Ridgewood by 6 earlier this season. That's in response to Captain Potato saying Amboy is going to win it all this year. So a little chatter about who might win it all in our chat right now.
Well, and you look back to Ridgewood, those 2 losses, less than 10 points.
Yeah.
To Amboy and to Polo. So,
but that kind of screams just how good of a team Ridgewood is, and we're seeing it right out there on the field right now at Cambridge. They're taking it to the number one team in the tournament. Now, there may be some argument that, are they really the number one team? That doesn't matter. They had the number one team. They are undefeated coming in. They have won every game that has been in front of them right now. And now that you look at it, the fact that Amboy only won, what was it, by 8 or 6 or whatever? They only beat Ridgewood. That's just how good Ridgewood is right now. They've got size. Peace Boomba has been irrelevant in this game, which I can't believe I'm saying that after watching the kid go for 26 carries for 210 yards last week. It's crazy.
Yeah, just 10 carries for 33. And again, I put an asterisk by that's very much unofficial.
That's unbelievable. 10 for 33. I'm surprised he only has 10 carries, though. Like, I know he's been battling that issue. I would have thought we maybe could have seen a little bit more out of him. But like I said, I think he's battling whatever that nagging issue he had last week, and certainly hope that he's maybe to get a little treatment here in halftime and come out pretty strong and make this a really close contest here in the second half.
See the Ridgewood Spartans start trickling onto the field here on the left-hand side as we look at the field.
See if I can get them on the camera shot here. There's Ridgewood making their way on. No, you're all right. Ridgewood got to be feeling good. Their fans are buzzing right now here at the half. Good feeling here in Cambridge as St. Thomas More making their way onto the field as well. What do you think? Maybe we get another timeout in, get our sponsors some airtime, and
sound great.
We'll be back after this as you're watching TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Back here at Cambridge High School, Cambridge, Illinois. Just about ready, we think. They probably will throw the 3 minutes on the clock, I'm guessing, as we're down to about 20 seconds on the halftime clock. 14-0 lead for Ridgewood.
Okay, so they're updating the scores, so we might pause here just a second.
Also at halftime, Polo 20, Milledgeville 8.
Okay, so they gave us the two scores that we have. We're still looking for the Martinsville score, it sounds like. So, and if anybody gets that update, feel free to send it into our comment section, which, by the way, our comment section has been very busy here recently. Kai, he's been in here several times here today, but, Kai, in response to something we were talking about earlier, saying Ridgewood is no joke. Neither is this St. Thomas More defense. If their offense starts firing on all cylinders, it's going to turn into a very interesting game. And that's coming from Kai. Reese Berry coming in and saying halftime adjustments will be key for both teams. And been a good game to watch online. Thanks for the telecast. Well, thank you very much, Reese, for watching and the kind words right there. We certainly appreciate that.
Getting with this one, Dwayne got this started back during COVID. Can't even fathom 3 years ago that this has taken to the the extent that it has.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is, and I just joined the team this fall, so I don't know the whole story and everything, but talking to believe that this all started from me just wanting to broadcast Bushnell football games.
Yeah,
and that's what it started.
Yeah, football and basketball and during COVID.
Yeah, and that's where it started, and we're happy to be here, and we're happy to broadcast these games, and we appreciate schools like Ridgewood letting us come set up here. They're happy to have us, and, we're happy to be here. That's what this is all about.
And the whole outreach of the broadcast that we've now got Milledgeville.
Yep.
And that came out of the first year BPC and 8-man football. Went up there and played a playoff game. And Dwayne and the powers that be there at Milledgeville talked, and Dwayne's like, hey, you could always host here on our platform on YouTube, and lo and behold, there you go.
Yeah. It's fun, and I tell people all the time, I grew up wanting to be in broadcasting and sports broadcasting in particular, and I just don't think people understand just the importance of high school sports to a community, to these high school kids. It's just an absolute, like these kids being out here in a state quarterfinal game, obviously very exciting for them, exciting for their families to be here, or maybe even watching it on YouTube. It's a big day for them. It's a big day for this community because your community can come together and cheer for the same thing. I mean, it is so important. High school sports, they're obviously not going anywhere. They're so important to everybody, and we're happy to be a part of it here at TSSR.
Yeah, and that was the amazing thing. I remember doing all the basketball games and having grandparents that leave for the winter down in Florida, and now they're able to watch all their grandsons' basketball games. I mean, it's just far-reaching. We've, the places we've had comment in where they've been watching fun is we're ready for second half football as Ridgewood will have the football to start the second half, up 14-0 on the Sabres.
Couple more comments before we get to the opening kickoff. Yeah, Reese adding in, he says, great for the alumni at a distance. Cambridge grad here who appreciates it. Thank you. And then Grace getting in, saying, let's go Sabres. We got this. Hashtag One Glory. I guess that's the team hashtag they've been using throughout the high school football season.
Number 12, Lucas Dixon to kick it away for the Sabres. The approach will be a low line drive kick that's going to go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Number 8 was the man back for the Spartans, Luke Gully, Jr. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Ridgewood from their own 40-yard line. Spartans on top 14-0 as we start the second half.
I'm surprised that's the first time we've said Luke Gully's name. The game I did against Bushnell a few weeks ago, Gully had a pretty good day. A number of guys had a good day against the Spartans of Bushnell-Prairie City in that one, but first time saying his name here today, kind of surprising, but that just kind of shows what kind of game it's been. It's been Taylor Snook. He's been the star of this game so far, and we'll probably see him a lot here on this drive.
So 1st and 10 for Ridgewood from their own 35. Single back set to under center. Fake the handoff. The second man, he's got it. Snook again, and he's nearly breaking the tackle there by number 51 by Ben Horn, and he's going to take it across midfield into Sabre territory at the 48, 1st and 10. How about a nice little 17-yard gain to start off? And St. Thomas More not wasting any time. They're going to take a timeout here. One play into the second half, 11:52 to play. We'll be back in just a moment.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home tech.
Back here as it'll be 1st and 10 for the Ridgewood Spartans at the Sabre 48-yard line. Toward under center. Hand off to Snook again. He's breaking tackles. He's got some room on the far side. Tiptoes across the 40, and he's got another 1st down for Ridgewood.
I mean, Taylor Snook right now is running like a man on a mission right now. He is single-handedly. Now he's got a little bit of a limp as he comes
tapped
off.
his helmet. Yeah, he's going to have to come out for
he's holding his arm at a weird angle right there. That's certainly not.
It looks like the foot. He's kind of limping off the field as we see him come to the near sideline. Gain of 13 on the play for Snook.
Boy, you hate to see that after the game he's had. He's got to be up close to 200 yards after those first two plays.
197 on 13 carries.
Unbelievable.
Handoff is going to cross over number 23. That's Moriarty, and he's got another first down. Stop made by number 55. Ben Schmidt, but Schmidt lost his helmet. James Schmidt, he's going to have to check out for a play. First and 10 down to the 23-yard line on the run by Moriarty.
I tell you, the few times that Moriarty touches the ball, he makes a big play, and he did that against Bushnell a few weeks back, and he's doing it here. He had that touchdown. I believe it was from like 18 yards in that first half. Opening score of the game. So he doesn't touch it often, but every time he does, he seems to make a big play.
Single back set. The lone back is number 8 and going to hand off. Nope, Couture's going to keep it himself, and he's going to run inside the 15, pushed out of bounds by Marty Delaney on the near side.
I tell you, all the trickeration that Ridgewood is doing, I mean, it's fooling me as the camera guy. I mean, I'm not a full-time camera guy, so I'm doing the best I can to keep up with these guys. But, all the trickeration, they'd fool even the best of cameramen out there just with how much they're faking handoffs to certain guys. And they're faking it to one and handing it to the other, or the quarterback eventually keeps it. And right now, St. Thomas More is scrambling for answers.
10:37 to play, first and second and 2. Number 34 with the carry. He's going to have the first down for the Spartans. 34 is Gavin Franks.
I mean, how deep is this running back room here at Ridgewood? I mean, you got Luke Gully getting a carry. You've got Gavin Franks getting one. I'm sure you'll see Sean Watt if things continue the way they go. As we see Snook getting worked on as I look down on the sideline right here. I think he might be just dealing with a little bit of cramps as he's now up and looks like he might be good to go here. So that's certainly some good news for Ridgewood.
Left thigh region, back of the left thigh.
They're holding out a Gatorade for him, so we'll see.
First and 10 for the Spartans from the Sabre 12. And Couture on the carry. He's slammed down after a gain of about 3.
That was a vicious tackle right there. I don't know if trying to take some frustration out on that one right there. Got to be careful on those. Don't want to be getting any personal fouls and setting up a first and goal.
9:40 to play, second and 6 from the Sabre 8. Ridgewood on top, 14-0 here in the third quarter. Setback number 8, Luke Gully behind Couture, and it's going to be Gully on the carry. And he's going to race into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. 9:19 to play in the third. It's a 20-0 lead for the Spartans of Ridgewood High School.
I mean, that's just the work of the offensive line right there. He went in absolutely untouched right there, and Luke Gully getting in on the action here today. I think all 3 touchdowns have been by 3 different guys.
Yep.
Snook, Moriarty, and now Gully, and it's now 20-0, and things might be starting to get out of hand a little bit there just with how the offense rolled down the field on that opening drive. St. Thomas More is scrambling for answers.
Again, Gully, the lone setback toward under center. Handoff Gully. He's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion by Gully is good. So a 9:19 to play here in the third quarter. It's a 22-0 lead for Ridgewood. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just a moment.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here in Cambridge, Illinois, 22-0 lead for the Ridgewood Spartans. What a way to come out. You take the opening drive right down the field and punch it into the end zone with a 2-point conversion and push the lead to 22-0.
Well, and we saw one of the comments during the halftime show. We saw one of the comments saying halftime adjustments are going to be the key. Well, the halftime adjustments for Ridgewood just fantastic. Now, Taylor Snook obviously going out with that stinger. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like he's okay on the sideline. But they were just able to reach into that running back depth and score a touchdown.
High kick fielded by number 88. He's going to return it a couple yards. Stop made by number 51, Rowdy Beam.
Number 88, Michael Rossell.
Michael Rossell on the return for the Sabres.
I'm pretty sure he's caught every kick
He's
return
caught a
so
lot
far.
of them, that's for sure.
I mean, he does have the one actual reception in the game, but he does have, I think, every kick return here in this ball game.
So
that's the first one he's tried to return, though.
Right, 1st and 10 for the Sabres. They trail 22-0. 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Got 9:14 to play here in the third quarter. Kid Craddock going out of the shotgun. Bumba the single setback to his right. Going to be a handoff to Bumba. Going to go far side. Makes one Spartan miss, but that's going to be it. They are just doing a great job of keying in on Bumba. A gain of a couple on the play. 2nd and 8.
Just excellent contain on the corners. They just every time Boomba tries to bump it to the outside, and that's his game. He wants to bump it outside, but he hasn't been able to get outside. And boy, that's tough. That's tough when that's your offense and you haven't been able to go to your bread and butter. Where do they go? I think you need to run him between the tackles, though. Let him run over a guy or two, and try to get the momentum going that way.
So 2nd and 8 for the Spartans, or the Sabres from their own 41. Shotgun snap. Attempted pass to Bumba. Again, out of the reach. Coverage by 23, Moriarty for the Spartans.
And that might have something to do with the little nagging issue on his knee right there. I don't think he was able to get into his route quick enough. It was a timing route where Boomba cuts outside, and it just looked like the timing was off because Boomba's not able to get to the spot that he needs to be at as quick as he's used to.
Bumba going to check out of the ballgame. Number 9, Marty Delaney checking in as they're going to go empty set. 3 receivers near side, single to the far side. Shotgun formation for Craddock. Firing caught, and good coverage there again. Number 23, Moriarty, and number 4, Owen Anderson. The catch made by number 74, Thomas Karabi, and gain, we'll call it a gain of about 4. And a big 4th down here early in the third quarter. 4th and 4 for the Sabres from their own 45.
This is a massive, massive play here in this ball game. Reese Berry in the comments cheering for the Spartans. He's a Cambridge alum, and he said that was a big drive there for Ridgewood. This is a big drive here for St. Thomas More. This is arguably the play of the game right here. You can't go 4 and out and turn the ball over here after giving up a touchdown.
Bubba in the lone setback set. Shotgun. Craddock takes the snap. Got a man open. It's going to be caught, and it's going to be a touchdown for St. Thomas More. As that's number 51, Ben Horn. 55 yards, Craddock to Horn, and the Sabres are on the board. 8:13 to play here in the third quarter.
Well, and we saw earlier in the game, we saw Craddock overshoot Ben Horn as he was able to get open. And what an answer right there. But able to right the wrong there. Craddock, a beautiful throw, a beautiful route by Ben Horn, getting open. There was nobody there. I don't know if that was just a busted coverage or just a good game, a good, well-designed play. But that is well done, and that is the answer that St. Thomas More has been looking for all day long.
So the 2-point conversion against shotgun set. Craddock going to hand off to Bumba. Bumba up the middle, in for the 2-point conversion. As that's going to cut the lead to 22-8, a 14-point lead now for the Ridgewood Spartans. We're going to step aside here in just a moment, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Back here at Golfstall Field in Cambridge. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. Chris Frank, Ezra White Reed here as St. Thomas More getting the goose egg off the scoreboard there. And that was the answer we were talking out of the break. That's the answer St. Thomas More needed to get back in this contest.
Yeah, and people at home are noticing it. Matt Wright, the whistle, another whistle on the kickoff here, so I think we're going to have to do that again. A couple of responses, though. He says, Matt Wright says, yay, Sabres, don't give up, have faith. And then Reese, even though Reese is a Cambridge alum, he knows a good play when he sees it. He says great play on fourth there by St. Thomas More. That's big. That is big. Now it's a two-possession game here. If you can get a defensive stop right here, you feel like you're right back in this ball game.
Luke Coley back deep, number 8 for the Spartans.
And they huddle on this kick. I wonder if they might try to do some little onside, maybe. I don't know. We saw them do it last week against Bushnell, trying to catch the Spartans off guard, and I think it worked. If my memory serves me right, it does look like they might try to do it.
Different kicker, 12 kicked that first one now.
This is the big boy,
55.
55, James Schmidt, who kicked last week.
Wait, fielded by one of the number 24 for the Ridgewood Spartans. A nice job down there, number 11 on the stop.
Gavin Verhecke, quite the name there.
Philip Christoph on the stop for the Sabres. So 1st and 10 for Ridgewood from their own 35-yard line, a 14-point lead, 8:01 to play here in the third quarter.
I don't know if I've ever seen a kick do that. You see that kick? It looked like a little changeup like you'd see in baseball. That thing just dropped after it went about 10, 15 yards down the field. It just fell straight to the ground.
If only my wedge shots in golf could do that.
Same here.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Door handoff going to become to the near side. That is Moriarty. He's going to cut it back. And he's going to have a nice gain of about 5 out to just about the 40-yard line.
Couple more comments in the keep them coming in, guys. We love hearing from you here. Captain Potato says end of the third quarter. Polo up 20-8, and Grace cheering on the Sabres. That's how you do it. #OneGlory.
7:38 to play, third quarter, second and. They're only going to give Moriarty 3 on the play. 2nd and 7.
Wow.
22-8 lead for the Spartans.
That's an interesting spot.
Tor going to take the snap. Going to roll near side. Looks to throw. He's going to throw. He's got a man open. Coverage there by Horn. Intended receiver was Moriarty and got a hand on the football. It looked like it might end up just being kind of a jump ball.
My mistake on the camera shot there. I thought I lost the ball, to be totally honest with you. The sun and the angle that we're at right now, I lost the football. But yeah, that trying to throw that ball deep down the field here. Now Ridgewood is in a very precarious spot here. 3rd and 7. You don't want to force anything and force a turnover, but you also don't want to go 3 and out and give a hot St. Thomas More team the football.
3rd and 7 for the Spartans. Couture going to hand off the lead back. That's Gully.
Wow.
And Gully going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Brody Cuppernell coming in and making the stop there for St. Thomas More. What a play there in the backfield, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and now you're at a 4th and 7 situation. I think you got to punt this if you're Ridgewood.
And that's what they're going to do. Number 24 in to punt it away. Kevin Verhecke. That's going to be Horn, 51, dropping back for the Sabres. Good snap. Little line drive kick, going to take a Spartan bounce. And going to check up at about the 26, 27-yard line in Sabre territory.
How about the special teams today? We've seen a couple of excellent punts for St. Thomas More in that first half, and that was, even though it was a low line drive kick, that was actually a pretty good kick for Ridgewood, able to get them inside the 30-yard line. But now St. Thomas More, they got the response there in the passing game. Now we'll see if they can try to make this a one-score game here. Plenty of time. Obviously, there's not a 14-point play, so plenty of time. Don't need to get a little over-anxious right here. You're only down 14 here if you're St. Thomas More.
Craddock going to go under center. Bumba in the backfield. And it's going to be Bumba. Bounces to the far side. Good pursuit again. Bumba, good run, though. A gain of about 5 or 6. Lee Moriarty there, 23 for the stop for the Spartans.
You know, we talked about during the break after the touchdown from the Sabres a little while ago, we talked about how Peace Boomba really needs to move the ball up the middle of in between the tackles. Just give him the chance to run over a guy. Give him some confidence. He's been running it to the corners. He's been trying to exert a lot of energy trying to get to the corners, and I know that's part of their game plan, but run it up the middle a little bit. Let the big man work.
4-yard gain for Bumba, 2nd and 6, 6:25 to play. Bumba again. Still on his feet, breaks some tackles, and there he goes. He's across the 40. 35, one man to beat. Nice block. He's going to go to the house. Touchdown, St. Thomas More.
What did I tell you?
70 yards for Peace Bumba. And just like that, this is an 8-point game in favor of Ridgewood.
What did I tell you? Run it up the middle, let him run over some guys, and let him do his work. And that's exactly, almost on cue. It's like we scripted that one right there, Chris. And I know that we didn't. Obviously, that's not the way sports works. But how about that? What a beautiful play by Peace Boomba. That's what I've been looking for since I watched him last week. One of those plays where he sheds off a bunch of tacklers and runs it all the way into the house.
I'm going to check out on the 2-point conversion. Craddock going to go empty backfield for the Sabres. 2 receivers far side, single receiver near side. Got a flag, and the 2-point conversion pass is caught, but we do have a penalty flag on the play. Corn on the catch.
Conversion's good, so if it's offside or anything like that, that's a 2-point conversion.
Let me get something on St.
Legal procedure.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's going to be on St. Thomas More, because as soon as that ball was snapped, that flag came out.
Yeah. Somebody probably wasn't set or something like that, and that's probably where the illegal procedure. Now this makes this 2-point conversion very tricky.
Move it back to the 8.
But, you know, I talked about the penalties last week against Bushnell, and it came in spots like this when unfortunate timing. Now you make it so hard on yourself to try to get the 2-point conversion.
Hornet motion. Now all 3 receivers to the far side. Craddock going to take the snap, looks to throw, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. Big hit by number 4, Owen Anderson.
Ball came out,
and
too.
Craddock is down.
By the Sabres, but they are stopped. So
that could not have gone any worse if you're St. Thomas More, that 2-point conversion. And now Craddock is still down on the ground, so we're going to have to take a timeout, I think. And
yeah, let's step aside, and we'll be back here in just a moment.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here at Cambridge High School, 6:09 to play, 3rd quarter. Peace Bumba with a 70-yard touchdown run. Makes this a 22-14 lead, Wyatt. And, I guess the old adage, you can contain somebody only for so long. Well, Peace Bumba broke out of that on that play, and we come in the break. that's really the first time Ridgewood has not done a good job of wrapping him up.
Well, and it's one of the first times today that we saw Peace Boomba run through the tackles. And he's been running to the outside all day long. And Ridgewood, they've been doing a good job getting to the outside and ultimately like trying to push him out of bounds. Well, when you have Boomba just running up the middle and running over guys, that ends up working out in your favor. That's what he's good at. When you're 6'1", 210, there's no way he's only 210. That's got to be his preseason weight. He's got to be 220, 225. But I think this is what you're going to see now. And now you've got an 8-point game, and now with Craddock going down on that 2-point conversion play, there's all the more reason to turn around and hand it off to Boomba and let him work his way up the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So Ridgewood's going to start 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line, 6:07 to play, third quarter.
Got a score update from Captain Potato, 28-8 Polo.
Wow. Milledgeville did pretty manhandled Polo in the regular season contest between those two. Tor going to hand off to Gully. He's going to tiptoe up for a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play.
Well, and this is what Ridgewood needs to do. They need to just do the same thing that I've been telling St. Thomas More to do all day long, run it up the middle. They just need to be able to try to hang on to the ball, get 4 or 5 yards. They got 3. I think that's a generous 3. I think that's more 4 yards here. So they get 4 on that play right there. And now they just got to be able to remove the ball down the field and kill the clock as well.
2nd and 7, 5:30 to play. 2nd and 7 for the Spartans. Going to hand off to number 25, Sandberg. And a nice pursuit from the backside by number 54.
Man.
Brody Cuppernell, and he's going to gain about 3.
Not many times when Sandberg has that edge right there, he's going to get caught. But he got caught on that one right there, which is a huge play. That stopped the first down, and now you've got a 3rd down. And if St. Thomas More can get this stop here, all the momentum is on their side. With their last 2 possessions, they've gone down and scored touchdowns. Ridgewood's been quiet since they scored a touchdown on the opening drive here the second half. I mean, this is a big play in this ball game.
3rd and 3 for the Spartans at their own 42-yard line, 4:45 to go. Third quarter. We're going to fake the handoff. He's going to bootleg. Can he get by Bumpa? He gets knocked out of downs, and it's going to be close.
Yeah, that's going to depend on the spot, but that's good discipline right there from Peace Boomba, and they are going to mark him about a half a yard shy. But Boomba, he had the chance to spin the quarterback around and maybe send a message a little bit on that, but he would have gotten the penalty. So that's a smart play by Boomba to hold off. You saw him hold his hands up right there. He held up, which is a smart play. Now you set it up on 4th and 1.
So 4th and less than a yard for Ridgewood. They're going to line up and go for it. Ooh. Up 8, 4:35 to play, 4:36 to play. I'm not sure he got it.
I don't think he did either.
Quarterback sneak, and I don't think Couture got it. I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
No, that was a great push from St. Thomas More on the line. I mean, that's how you stop those QB sneaks. The QB sneaks have been the topic of a lot of football at various levels, especially when you talk about the NFL and the brotherly shove. Of course, it's a little hard to do that in 8-man football, but, I mean, that is picture-perfect defense of how to defend a quarterback sneak. And now St. Thomas More has the ball on the plus side of the field. They're at the 44-yard line. And here you go. This is the kind of game that we expected.
4:31 to play. Sabres trail by 8, 22-14. See who's going to be in at quarterback now for the Sabres. Is Craddock not in the huddle?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know who their backup quarterback would be.
Might be Bumba. It looks like it is going to be Bumba, at least on this play, to line up at quarterback. He's going to take the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Gets to the outside. Shaves off one tackler. And he's going to have a first down, a gain of about 11.
I think they said he stepped out a few yards shy. Yeah, they marked him 4 yards shy. He must have stepped out of bounds. We couldn't see from this angle. So a gain of 5 there. And, you know, if that's going to be the offense, I don't think that's going to be the offense. I think they're going to have a guy No, it does look like it could be the offense because Boomba's out there getting the play calls right now. So this is interesting. This adds a little bit of intrigue into this
Another
ball
little
game.
wrinkle to this contest.
A little direct snap to your best player, and
I don't think we're gonna. I think that's Craddock on the far side. The shoulder pads are off.
Yeah,
it is Craddock.
Yep.
So Bumba at quarterback, 4:24 to go, 2nd and 4. And we're gonna get either a timeout, delay a game on the Sabres.
That's tough.
Push it back. 5 is going to be 2nd and 10 now.
Man, that's tough. After you get 5 yards on first down, you're set up with 2nd and then even possibly a 3rd and manageable, but instead you get that penalty. And that's what I'm saying. Those penalties for St. Thomas More seem to always come at the most inopportune times. Now you're set up with a 2nd down and a long situation here.
Bumba, and he's going to be flipped over, and now a penalty flag on the far sideline.
Might be a face mask.
Moriarty on the stop, but we're going to see what the officials call.
Got some reaction from Kai. I'll get that after
face
the penalty.
mask.
Was a face mask on the tackle there by Moriarty. But Kai reacting to the first direct snap from Boomba, the stiff arm that he had to get to the corner to get those 5 yards. It says Boomba's a beast. And, yes, he is a beast. One of the most entertaining players I've got the chance to see this season. And there's been a lot of great players that I've gotten the chance to cover. But Boomba is definitely one of the most exciting here in the state of Illinois.
Bumba in the shotgun, 2nd and 3 for the Sabres. Bumba's going to keep it. Nice job. Nice tackle around the ankles by Sandberg, I believe it was. Nope, 51, I think, on the stop. Patty Beam.
You know, I understand you wanting to give Boomba the chance to pick up some speed. So that's why he's standing 6-7 yards back in the shotgun. But
I think under center.
But I don't know if you need to put him under center, at least bring him in a couple of steps, because by the time he gets to that line of scrimmage, you saw it on that play, Ridgewood's there, they're ready to go. And unless he can get to the corner, it's going to be tough. I said run it up the middle. Well, you can't really run it up the middle when you're taking direct snaps.
Right, 3rd and a short 2, 3:20 to play here, 3rd quarter. 22-14 lead for the Spartans. Bumba's going to have the first down for the Sabres up close to the 30-yard line.
Good cutback right there. You know, he wanted to do his thing. He wanted to get to the corner right there, but he cuts back, cuts up the field, and that worked out to perfection right there. Another first down for the Sabres, and it's been all Sabres really since the 10-minute mark of this quarter. So the last 7 minutes have been dominated by St. Thomas More. And Ridgewood, you see those guys there on the defensive line. They've got their hands on their hips right there. They're just looking for answers right now. They're kind of scrambling like St. Thomas More was at the end of that first half.
2:46 to play, 1st and 10 for the Sabres from the Ridgewood 30-yard line. Sabres trail it by 8, 22-14. Direct snap to Bumba. He's got some room. He's going to gain a nice gain of about 7 or 8 on the play.
Bumba on the carry.
Sandberg on the stop again for the Spartans.
Bridget Martin in the comments saying that Peace is also a wonderful young man. That's coming from his principal. So Peace Boomba's principal in the comments section giving good words about Peace and how good of a football player and a good kid that he is. I certainly can't believe it. And then Grace Kreps also sending love to number 26 Reed Craddock after taking that shot. And he's likely out for the rest of this contest.
Under 2 minutes to play, 1:57, 2nd and 2 for the Sabres from the Spartan 22-yard line. And 22-14 lead for Ridgewood. Bumba going to try to get to the near side. Good pursuit. And he's going to be wrapped up for a big loss back to the 28-yard line.
I mean, that play was botched from the beginning. I think you honestly should have seen Boomba maybe pitch it on that play.
And that's what it looked like. Maybe that was what he was trying to do initially.
I think he wanted to, but he wasn't in the right spot, possibly. And if you're not in the right spot, you're expecting to pitch it one area, and you pitch it there, and your guy's not there, that ball's on the ground, and that's a live ball.
So 3rd and 10 for the Sabres. Ball back at the 30-yard line of the Spartans. Ridgewood leads at 22-14. Again, single back set, shotgun formation, direct snap to Bumba. He's going to run it. Penalty flag on the play, and I wonder if they're going to get a hold or something. Bumba's going to lose another yard or two on the play. Holding on the Sabres.
And I wonder if they just decline this, make it 4th down, or you push him back and.
Looks like they are going to decline it.
They are going to decline it, it looks like, yep.
So 54.3 seconds to play, 3rd quarter, 4th and 10. Ball back, no, 4th and 12. Move it back to the 32-yard line. And the clock continuing to roll on the official signal.
And this is the issue now with Craddock not in the game. Who are you going to go to here? Who's your backup quarterback? I don't know who the backup quarterback. We've seen Boomba taking direct snaps. Who's going to be the guy that's going to try to pick you up these 12 yards? As we've got 33 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. What a 3rd quarter this has turned out to be, though.
This has been a dandy ball game here. And timeout taken by St. Thomas More. They're 2nd already of the half. Remember, they took one at the first play Ridgewood ran in the 3rd quarter. So with 25.8 seconds to play, we're going to step aside and we'll be back in just a moment.
Working at MDH feels special to me because I'm also from a small community like MDH, and I love to be able to care for communities like this and be able to give them high standards of excellence with medical care as possible. You know, some people like to take more of a medical approach to their care. Some people like to take more of a holistic. And I just want to be able to make their plan of care as individualized as possible.
25.8 seconds to play, 3rd quarter, 22-14 in favor of Ridgewood. Out of the 2nd time out of the half by St. Thomas More. They'll have it 4th and 12 at the Ridgewood 32-yard line. And they trail by 8, 22-14.
Update our scoreboard. Make it that they have only one timeout left. That's a big thing here. We're not even at the end of the 3rd quarter, and they've only got one timeout left.
3 receivers near side. Bumba, shotgun formation, empty backfield. Bumba going to look to throw, is going to take off and run. He's got good pursuit from the back, caught by number 55. Penalty flag on the play, still on his feet. He's going to be brought up short of the 1st down. Catch was made by number 55, Josh Krebs.
I think that's James Schmidt, actually, on St.
James
Thomas
Schmidt,
More.
yes,
Yep.
sorry.
This is going to be an interesting play in the penalty regard. Might be an eligible man downfield, and I'm not sure, though.
Regardless, it's going to be short of the 1st down on the catch. Have to see if, I'm assuming the penalty's on St. Thomas More, where it came from, but
yeah,
have to wait and see what the officials say.
And then you wonder, maybe it's a defensive hold. Yeah, that could be something there as well, but it looks like they're talking to the Ridgewood coach, so they're going to have to replay it.
Coach Elder.
Or they're just going to say decline it. They were short anyway, so.
An eligible man downfield. Also down. 1st down, Ridgewood.
Okay, so it was illegal touching. So I guess Schmidt was not maybe an eligible receiver. So
they'll mark it off, and with the loss of down, Ridgewood will take over 1st and 10. It looks like from right at their own 40-yard line.
I don't understand the penalty yardage on top of the play there. Is that the rule? Like that? I'm kind of confused on that one right there.
I'm a little confused by it myself, but regardless.
It should have just been a declinable penalty, and Ridgewood gets the ball.
We're going to hand off up the middle. 25, Sandberg on the carry. And by the way, we have yet to see Mr. Snook back into the ball game. He's got the helmet on.
Yeah, that's a big loss. The way he was running today, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a big loss. We'll talk about that in the 4th quarter for sure.
All right, we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in just a moment.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology.
Back here at Cambridge High School, 12 minutes on the clock. 8-point lead for Ridgewood as we head to the fourth quarter. Thanks for tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live. Presented by MDH. Chris Frankhauser, Wyatt Reed here on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon.
What a game this has turned out to be. You know, a 14-0 game at the half. You wouldn't know it by the way these two teams have been playing here in this second half. And people are noticing that in the comments section. Reese saying this is a great game to watch, like watching good football games. This is one of them. Kids are playing hard. And Vigo is also wanting a 3-and-out here for her St. Thomas More Sabres as a penalty on
Offside.
the first play. Offside on the offense?
It's been lined up offsides apparently, so 5-yard mark-off going to make it, move it from 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 12. Ball back to the Spartan 38-yard line for Ridgewood.
We haven't seen a ton of penalties here, but they just come at very bad times. You know, there was a 2nd and 7 as kind of a 2nd and medium situation, and now you're dealing now with 2nd and 12 after that. So you haven't seen very many, but they just seem to come at the wrong time.
Couture going to hand off to number 25, Sandberg. He's still on his feet. He pinball off about 3 or 4 Sabre defenders. Going to be a nice gain. He's going to get back about 7 or so of those 12 yards.
That was very impressive right there. The way St. Thomas More pursued the ball right off the get-go, you thought they were going to get him in the backfield, maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain back to the original line of scrimmage, but he looked like a little piece boomba right there, bumping off of guys. And that was very impressive by Sandberg, who's in for Taylor Snook.
Gain of 9 on the play for Sandberg. 3rd and 3, 11:20 to play. Fourth quarter, 22-14 lead for Ridgewood. We're going to hand off. That's Sandberg again. He's going to bounce off one. He's going to have the first down and a little more. Again, bouncing off defenders. That looked like he should have been wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Gain of 5 and a first down for the Spartans.
That, again, back-to-back plays where you're just seeing Sandberg say, hey, give it to me, and I'm going to try to win this game for us here after the third quarter did not go as planned, and he gave up the 14 points to the Sabres. You kind of looked a little lost on offense after that opening possession where they looked fantastic on the opening possession of the second half. Offense was kind of quiet after that. But, boy, it's been the Sandberg show here so far on the first couple of carries.
Sandberg, the lone setback again. Couture under center for the Spartans. Hand off to Sandberg. And this time he's wrapped up in the backfield. Number 8 on the stop. William Radden.
Yeah, the Sabres were like, that's not going to happen 3 times in a row. You can get us a couple of times, but you're not going to get us 3 times in a row right there, Mr. Sandberg. And so they were able to stop him, gave him about a half a yard loss. So looking at 2nd and long here. And this is a big possession for both teams. If Ridgewood goes down and scores with no Craddock on the field, you wonder if that's going to be enough. If not, a one-possession game, anything can happen even without your starting quarterback for St. Thomas More. So they want to stop desperately.
Clock under 10 minutes to play, 9:55. 2nd and 10 for Ridgewood. Handoff Sandberg again. And he's still on his feet. He's going to be out close to another first down, a gain of about 8 or so on the play.
I just don't understand how he's able to sneak away from those situations. It looks like he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage or even 1 or 2 yards down the field. He got away from what looked like he'd stopped moving for a second and then made his way down. He's 2 yards shy, and I think this has just made it a easy go-for-it situation if you don't get it here on 3rd down.
10 carries for Sandberg, 99 yards on the afternoon. We're going to fake the handoff to Sandberg, and looks like a tour out of bounds. It's going to be enough for another Spartan first down. Gain of about 3 on the play.
And there you go, that little trickeration. You've only seen it a couple of times here in this game for Ridgewood, but Couture, when he has been called on, he's been able to make it work with his feet, and he showed off his speed right there, got to the corner, got the first down, and now Ridgewood will be able to work the clock a little bit more.
Of course, St. Thomas More taking 2 timeouts in the third quarter, so they have 1 remaining. Ridgewood, all 3 of theirs. 9:01 to play. First and 10 for the Ridgewood Spartans at the Sabre 34-yard line. Be a handoff, number 34 on the carry. Gavin Franks.
On the carry, he's taken down by number 55.
I'm pretty sure is that the 5th or 6th different guy to carry the ball for Ridgewood here today? 6th.
Franks a gain of about
that running
3.
back room, boy, oh boy, that's got to be something else here in Cambridge. A lot of great comments coming in here. I'm trying to get to as many of them as I can here, folks, but, I mean, we've had some great action here on the field that we need to cover as well.
So 2nd and 8 for Ridgewood. 8:29 to play. Fourth quarter. Couture going to keep it himself. Well, and he gets a look back to the line of scrimmage. I wasn't sure initially that he would, but he does get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, that play was blown up from the start. That was a very good defensive play there. Reese in the comments, he's left the last 3, and he said Snook getting hurt really changed the Ridgewood offense in the third quarter. Let's see how they do in the fourth. They've turned their attention to Roy Sandberg, and he's certainly making it work. And same with St. Thomas More losing their quarterbacks. Yeah, those 2 injuries definitely changed the momentum for the team, because at the time of those injuries, it certainly felt like the team, both teams at that time had the momentum, and then the game just completely shifted on its head.
7:40 to go. Couture going to look to pass, a little dump pass out to number 2. And I think he's going to have enough for the first down. Wes Sandberg, sophomore.
Another Sandberg here in a Spartan uniform. We've talked about Roy Sandberg this entire drive, and now they turn and say, hey, Wes, now it's your turn. And the Sandberg family is giving the Spartans life here on this drive after looking relatively dead early on in the or late in that third quarter. Now they have the chance. They're almost into the red zone now.
1st and 10 from the Sabre 23, 7:08 to play here in the fourth quarter. Hand off to Sandberg up the middle.
I'm glad you saw that, because I was following Moriarty with the camera. That was my bad.
Going to be a gain of a couple on the play for Sandberg, and the important thing, the clock keeps rolling down. 6:50 to play here in the fourth quarter. That puts Sandberg over 100 yards on the afternoon. 11 carries, 101 yards.
Yeah, if you're Ridgewood, though, you don't want to be running those outside routes. You don't want to be bumping it outside. You just want to keep running it through the tackles, keep the clock moving here, and not give St. Thomas More, who only has 1 timeout, extra timeouts.
Couture under center. Sandberg, the lone setback, going to hand off Moriarty. And Bumba on the stop after a gain maybe of a yard. I'm not sure that even, maybe no gain. Looks like no gain. 3rd and 8 as we near 6:10 to play here in the fourth quarter. 22-14 lead for the Spartans.
And there's Peace Boomba coming in and making an impact here on the defensive side. We saw him have 2 interceptions last week against Bushnell-Prairie City. They haven't passed it near as much here in this ball game, and he needed to come in and make a stop there, and he was able to do so.
5:50 to play now. 3rd and 8 from the Sabre 20-yard line for Ridgewood. Going to be Franks on the carry. He's got some room. He's going to cut it back. He's got the first down and more, as he's down, I believe, inside the 10-yard line. Bumpa on the stop. And it's going to be enough for a first down and a 1st and goal from about the 4.
Score update here from Captain Potato. We appreciate his score updates. 28-8 Polo over Milledgeville. They will play Amboy next week in the state semifinal. Who's the winner of this one play? That other game that we can't get the score for.
Martinsville-Pawnee game. So 1st and goal for Ridgewood from the Sabre 4. Sandberg, the lone setback. Couture going to hand off on the, that's Franks.
Penalty flag came in
for
late.
the touchdown. I think that's going to be on number 55 for St. Thomas More.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it going to be on St. Thomas More on a late hit, or is it going to be maybe a little block in the back? I'm kind of curious what this call is going to be. It does look like they're talking to the Ridgewood coaches, so it might be on St. Thomas More after the play. Yep, a personal foul, so that touchdown will count, and that's a big one right there.
Pushes the lead back to 14, 28-14, 5:02 to play.
My touchdown graphic hasn't worked the last 2 touchdowns. My apologies on that, but we'll put 6 points on the board for the Spartans there.
So Ridgewood going to line it up for the 2-point conversion. Sandberg the setback. Couture under center. They hand off to Franks again. He's going to cut it back, knocks the helmet off.
Oh, my.
And into the end zone for the touchdown. Number 55.
Number 34, Gavin Franks. He is in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and he's slow to get up after losing his helmet on that
James
one.
Schmidt.
St. Thomas More, 14.
So what a touchdown drive, though. They were able to go to Franks there on those last couple of plays and make a difference there. And now that one might be the nail in the coffin. As we'll take a timeout here as they deal with the injured player. Back after this, you're watching TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Back here at Cambridge High School, 5:02 to play in this contest. Spartans of Ridgewood High School on top. A big touchdown there, momentum swinger. Franks from person run makes it a 30-14 lead for Ridgewood over Champaign St. Thomas More. We've got that Schmidt coming off the field, lost the helmet on the tackle on the 2-point conversion. And now we got a flag as somebody, and I don't think it was a coach.
Might have been a sideline warning again there. And that might just be some frustration on the St. Thomas More side as they're down 30-14. Their quarterback's out. Everything seems to be going wrong here for St. Thomas More here today, and that might have just been a frustration penalty right there. Do have some updates in the comment section, and we appreciate everybody coming in and giving us those updates. If you've got any more, feel free to leave them in that comment section. Captain Potato, we were talking about the Polo win, 28-8 over Milledgeville. Fun fact, Polo lost by 36 to Milledgeville earlier in the year, so that was crazy. Captain Potato, we appreciate your work. He's trying to get us the score of the Martinsville-Pawnee game. Kai said the last update he got, it was 22-0 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter as Martinsville was leading Pawnee. The winner of this game will take on the winner of that game. And update here, Clutter, he has an update, 28-0 Martinsville at halftime. That might have got a later start right there.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was a 2 o'clock start.
And let's see here. Can't say I'm surprised. Martinsville is a very solid team this year. Pawnee is returning most of their starters, so they're going to be one to look out for it next year. So some comments on some of the other teams that are still in play here.
The winner of this game will take on the Martinsville-Pawnee winner.
Likely Martinsville, but
and that would be on the road. Well, if it's Ridgewood, it would be on the road because of the higher seed, I believe.
Yeah, because both teams are hosting this week. Is that?
Yeah,
that's correct. So then they just go to the higher seed, has the home team or the home game. So that'd be on the road. And
those that don't know, Martinsville almost to Indiana, not that far west of Terre Haute. So Connor McKeag ready to kick it off for the Spartans.
Brandon confirming that Martinsville is up 28-0. So thank you for everybody getting that score for us. And Fabian saying the 1-seed curse.
High kick, gonna bounce, and I think Ridgewood got on it. It never went out of bounds.
kick appears to be recovered by the Spartans.
Wow.
Number 34, Gavin Frank. On the recovery, the Spartans will take over 1st and 10.
Wow, that's just kind of a microcosm of how this game has gone for St. Thomas More. Just the smallest things have not gone right for them. It started early when you had Peace Boomba fumbling the ball on his first handoff. Even though it wasn't a turnover, you just felt like things were going to get a little weird here in this game, and they certainly have. And unfortunately for St. Thomas More, it's all been against them. They're down 30-14. Now you get the onside kick on a non-onside kick attempt, and your season may come to an end on something like that.
I'm just baffled how that ball did not go out of bounds.
I'm shocked too.
So Ridgewood has it 1st and 10 from the Sabre 44. Handoff up the middle. That's Sandberg. He's got one man to beat. He will beat him 10-5. Touchdown, Ridgewood.
As my man Wayne Larrabee would say for the Green Bay Packers Radio Network, there is your dagger. Sandberg coming in after Taylor Snook, who had an unbelievable ball game throughout really 3 quarters. Then he got hurt near the end of that first half, I guess. And just an unbelievable day for Snook, and unfortunate to see him go out with an injury. Then Sandberg has come in here in the second half and has put on a show, put the team on his back here in the fourth quarter, and now they lead it thanks to him.
145 yards for Sandberg on 12 carries. 2-point conversion is going to be no good.
Fumble on the conversion try.
Now there's another one of those fumbles that we've seen. That's like the 5th fumble that we've seen so far here today. Play was kind of dead from the get-go, but really that 2-point conversion is not going to matter. It's a 3-score game here with not much time left.
4:50 to play. 36-14 in favor of Ridgewood. We'll step aside and be back here in just a moment on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here, Cambridge, Illinois, Ridgewood tacking on another score, 36-14 in favor of the Spartans. Going to do a little high pooch kick again. This one's going to go off of their hands, and I think...
Did it work again?
Ridgewood may have gotten on. No. Penalty flag on the play.
Been recovered by the Spartans. We do have a flag on the play.
Maybe an offsides or on the kicking team.
That has to be what it is because the ball went
10 yards.
So ball went way past 10 yards, so that's not the issue.
Well, he said like a push, illegal hands. So it will be St. Thomas More football.
So it could have been an interference, a catch interference, I guess that'd be what the call is. They didn't let the St. Thomas More player make the catch. So that's what the penalty is here. But with 4:48 to go here, your starting quarterback out. Kind of need to pass it, but you don't really have a guy that can pass it right now. This is a tough situation here for St. Thomas More.
So Bumba going to be the lone person in the backfield, shotgun formation. 2 receivers to both sides. Bumba going to drop back the southpaw. They're going to go down back at the 45-yard line, it looks like.
Backfield by number 51, Rowdy Bean. It's going to bring up.
Yeah, Boomba's trying. I mean, he's got good form, don't get me wrong, as he steps back to pass, but, just being unfamiliar with routes and defensive coverage, it's kind of tough for him.
2nd and 15, Bumba shotgun, looking to throw, is going to take off and run with it. Stutter steps and going to go out of bounds after a gain of a couple on the play.
Keeps it on the play. Ran out of bounds after a gain.
I mean, I know you need to throw it on these plays, but when you don't have a starting quarterback and you got Boomba taking all these direct snaps, I'm surprised they just don't run the direct snap run plays instead of people running routes right there. So.
Well, the problem is, though, St. Thomas More has only got 1 timeout remaining here.
Yeah.
They need to score quick.
That was tough. for them. At least they were able to run out of bounds, I guess, on that play, but it's still a very tall hill to climb right now if you're St. Thomas More.
3rd and 14 for the Sabres. 4:12 to play here in the contest. 36-14 lead for Ridgewood. Bumba, shotgun formation. Gonna hand off number 6 on the play. That's Peter Samu. And
play.
nice run. He's gonna gain about 10 yards on the play.
Number 6, Peter Samu.
Set up a 3rd, no, not quite that much. How about
gain of 8, I think.
8, so 4th and a long 6. 4:05 to play.
Oh, no.
Bumba going to drop the football, going to get on it, but it'll be a turnover on downs for St. Thomas More. It'll be Spartan football with exactly 4 minutes on the clock.
And this game pretty much going to end most likely the way this thing started with the fumble by Boomba. Obviously, it's not his fault, but when you're the first play of the game, you know, you saw that fumble, and like we said, that's when we thought things were going to get a little bizarre. And then what may be their final play, Boomba putting it on the ground again. It's been a tough day for Boomba. Yeah, he had that big touchdown run earlier in the second half, but it's been a tough day for him overall.
Spartan's going to come to the line. 1st and 10. Sandberg, the lone setback. Couture, handoff. Sandberg, he's got some room again. He's got a first down, and Wisely just going to drop the knee after a gain of about 12. But from the Spartan 42 to the Ridgewood 45.
That's a good little sign of maybe some sportsmanship right there, sliding down, or that is just good game planning right there. You know, sliding down, staying in bounds, sliding down, able to burn more clock. He only had one man to beat. He could have very easily ran it into the end zone. That's why I wonder if that sportsmanship kind of thing.
Well, and you don't, at that point, even you don't want to risk some fluke of dropping the football.
True.
Fumbling it.
The way this game started, you know, the weird things can still happen, and we've got a little over 3 minutes to go. Still some weird stuff could happen.
We got a discussion over here.
As I say, all the officials are on the near side of the field, just out of the camera shot. This is where our officials are. I think they wanted to reset the play clock potentially.
Well, they put time back on, 3:45 and counting now.
I think the clock kept
Didn't
running
stop.
after they spotted the first down, so the clock was still rolling.
1st and 10 for Ridgewood from the Sabre 45. Ridgewood in no hurry. We'll wait for the back judge to start the signal. And off again to Sandberg. And he's got another first down, tackle from behind by Bumba. That's going to be another 12 to 13-yard game. It's going to put Sandberg 14 carries, 170 yards unofficially.
Unbelievable.
1st and 10 for Ridgewood at the Sabre 33, 3:10 and counting.
Coming into this game, if you gave me a stat line like that, I would have told you 10 times out of 10 that would be Peace Boomba with a stat line like that.
And
but
you
it's not.
Yeah, and you got Snook with 13 and almost 200 yards.
Yeah.
Clock at 2:50 to play. Sandberg again. He's going to have another first down, it looks like, for Ridgewood. Stop made by number 9 on the play. Marty Devaney.
Reese in the comment bringing up an interesting point. He says it's been a good game. Wish the second half was played with healthy kids on both sides. Injuries definitely changing the game. Hope the St. Thomas More kid is okay. Along with Snook for Ridgewood. Yeah, they're going to need Snook next week in the semifinals. So they're going to be definitely keeping their fingers crossed. Looks like Snook, I think I've seen him running around on the sidelines, so I think his was a minor issue. Should see him. I see him standing right here.
Couture going to take the snap and just drop back to knee. Clock down to 2:10 to play. Loss of a couple on the play.
And since I'm the cameraman, I'll show you guys. Snook is just standing here right in front of us. So he looks like he's okay. It might just be a precaution keeping him off the field right now. So I think I think if you can get Snook healthy, this Ridgewood team This team's for real, and they came here on their home turf against the number 1 team, an undefeated team, and flexed their muscles as to why they're a team that nobody wants to face right now.
Georgia's going to take a knee again, down to minute 35.
Couple more, and that should do it here in this one. What a performance. What a season, though, for St. Thomas More. I mean, 10-0 coming into this one. You finished the season with only 1 loss. Kind of stinks that it is in your quarterfinals, but an unbelievable season. You had the game against Martinsville. We talked about it earlier where they were down 14-0 at the half. We were wondering if we were going to get some more magic, but that did not happen here today.
Tor again under center. They're actually going to run a play this time. That's Franks.
Oh, man.
And he's going to just get the first down, or get close to the first down. I don't know if he got it. He's just going to slide down. Roll the clock, gain of about 8.
One more kneel down, and that should, well, not even a kneel down. It's 4th down. They're going to have to run a play.
Yeah. That's going to put Sandberg unofficially on my count, 60 carries right at 200. So you got Sandberg with 200 and Snook with 197 yards on the afternoon.
Reese in the comments wanting to hear if there was an update on the St. Thomas More quarterback. I don't have one from any coaches or anything like that, but
I know he was out of shoulder, out the pad. The helmet and pads did come off,
and I'm pretty sure I saw him leave the field with his parents. So I think they were going to go get him looked at, which is probably a smart thing. Penalty though come in, and
Sandberg on the carry.
There's a couple flags down on the play.
St. Thomas More just, I think, losing their cool a little bit here down the stretch.
Craddock over there with the shirt open, white towel.
Oh, so there I thought I saw him leaving the field earlier, but good to see him out there cheering on his boys. But he took a shot on that 2-point conversion, and that definitely changed the game for St. Thomas More. At that point, it was 22-14. Since then, Ridgewood comes in and outscores St. Thomas More 14-0 after that.
Personal foul on St. Thomas More.
Kai saying Martinsville's going to have their hands full against Ridgewood. St. Thomas More beat Martinsville by a touchdown earlier in the season.
So that'll stay with Ridgewood on the personal foul at St. Thomas More.
First down for the Spartans.
One more kneel down should do it.
No, I guess St. Thomas More will keep the football. Dead ball
St.
foul.
Thomas More will
Keep the ball.
retain possession.
So 19.2 seconds remaining.
First down on the 3.
Again, congratulations to both squads this afternoon. An entertaining football game. St. Thomas More, congratulations on a fine season. Finishing, as you said, White, at 10-1. Ridgewood's going to move on into the semifinals next week likely going to be against Martinsville on the road. Bumba, shotgun formation from his own end zone, going to hand off Samu, number 6, and he's going to go out of bounds. Well, getting a little testy down here, a little on both sides.
Can definitely tell the emotions are running high here. You know, St. Thomas More, it stinks to see your perfect season come to an end like this, but you know, you gotta be able to keep your cool a little bit in these situations.
It will be second down for the Sabres.
So second down for St. Thomas More from their own 3. Bumba's going to keep it. He's still on his feet, out across the 20, going to run out of bounds there with about 5 seconds, 5.3 on the clock.
Peace Boomba ran out of bounds on the play. Result of the play is good for a St. Thomas More first down.
I mean, these will pad his stats a little bit here, these last couple of runs, but, you know, Peace Boomba throughout most of this game, outside of the one big run, was pretty much held at bay throughout most of this game. And got to credit Ridgewood and having the perfect game plan coming into this one against a guy like Peace Boomba.
Bumba with a snap. That should be the final play of the contest. He's still on his feet, knocked out of bounds at the 40, but that will do it. Ridgewood advances to the semifinals, a 36-14 win over St. Thomas More.
14.
What a ball game. What a ball game by really both sides. I mean, you're going to look at this score, you're going to think it was lopsided. It was not. This was a very, very close contest all the way throughout. Injuries definitely played a part in the end result of this one, I think, especially with how good St. Thomas More was playing the start of that third quarter. But, man, what a season for St. Thomas More. Unfortunate, they're coming off a season where they went to the state semifinals last year and now losing in the state quarterfinals. This is going to be a team that comes back hungry next year.
Absolutely.
But there's going to be a lot to watch on St. Thomas More. But Ridgewood moving on. They're going to the semifinals, into the Final Four.
So, again, 36-14, our final score. So
we can take a break.
3/4 of the semifinals are set.
For now, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, let's take a break. We'll step aside for a couple of moments, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in Cambridge, Illinois, and had a 36-14 win for Ridgewood as they move on. And it was, wow, if coming into this, I figured Ridgewood could move the football on the ground.
Yeah.
But you got Sandberg finishing 17 carries, 200 yards, and Snook with 13 carries, 197.
That's unheard of.
So almost 400 yards of rushing just between the two of them. And then you throw in Franks, who's got 26 yards, and Moriarty with another 37.
Yeah.
They did it on the ground, and not surprising that they did it. I'm surprised that they were able to have so much success on the ground.
It's impressive, the running back depth that they have here at Ridgewood. I knew coming in, because I'd been here a couple of weeks ago, I knew you were going to have to deal with Snook, Moriarty, and Sandberg. But you saw, at times, Gavin Franks making big plays. And you saw guys like Luke Gully come in. And even though he didn't have a ton of plays, as the kids over there, they're going to go celebrate with their fans. Cool to see that.
Ring the bell.
I think that's what they're doing here.
Yep.
They're going to ring the bell. So that's a pretty awesome sight to see right there. I can't really get the shot there, but anyway, it's almost unheard of to have two guys for almost 400 combined yards. And you got to credit, obviously, the offensive line, too. It wouldn't have been done without the offensive line. The way they played here today, it was complete domination on the line of scrimmage, really on both sides, because we talked so much about the defense in that first half where Ridgewood kept St. Thomas More scoreless, and that was because of their defensive line. Well, what didn't really get noticed, really talked about, was the offensive line, opening up those holes for guys like Sandberg and Snook. And even though Snook, again, left with that little injury bug, he looked like he was fine, maybe keeping him out for precautions. And we'll certainly hope that he is back for because they're going to need him against a very talented Martinsville team, most likely Martinsville. Martinsville was up big at last, we knew. If anybody's got that score, by the way, an updated score, we would appreciate that before we sign off. But what a show. What a show by the Ridgewood Spartans. I've seen them twice, and I've been impressed both times.
Yeah, and coming out scoreless after one, as you said, and Ridgewood putting up a couple of scores there in the second quarter to make it a 14-0 lead at the half. Final score 36-14. We can quickly run down the scoring summary and some of the very unofficial again.
I think you did
stats.
fantastic.
For Ridgewood, it was, as I said, no score at the end of one. Both teams in that opening quarter just kind of feeling each other out, and just
It
big
was-
thing was trying to hang on to the football
It
at
was,
one point.
It was a very sloppy first quarter, and you're like, what kind of game? You know what? We kind of said first to 17, and then, boy, we were wrong on that. But, boy, that was a weird first quarter.
Yeah, it was. So Ridgewood gets on the scoreboard with 10:32 to play in the first half. It was Moriarty on the 18-yard run. The run failed. 6-0 Ridgewood. 8:56. They come right back. Snook on a 54-yard touchdown run. Moriarty run makes it 14-0 at the half. And Gully from 8 yards out in the third quarter, 9:19 to play. Gully ran it in for 2. And at that point, looked like maybe Ridgewood would run away with this 22-0 lead.
Yep.
Not so fast.
Not so
As
fast.
Lee Corso would say,
That's
not so
right.
fast, my friends. 8:13 to play. Craddock connects on a 55-yard touchdown pass to Horn. Bumba run makes it 22-8. And just about 2 minutes later, 2 minutes and 4 seconds later, Bumba on a 70-yard touchdown run. Pass failed, 22-14. That's where we headed to the fourth quarter. And
But that's also the big change. That's the big moment in that ball game. That pass failed, the 2-point conversion. That's the play where Reed Craddock got hurt on the 2-point conversion. It was unfortunate to see it. He was down for a while,
he
too.
was.
We were wondering what was going on. We were a little concerned here for a minute, but that was the play. He went out, and the game completely turned on its head after that.
Yeah, and then stayed at that score until 5 minutes to play, 5:02. It was Gavin Franks on a 4-yard touchdown. Franks ran it in for 2 to push the lead to 30-14. And Roy Sandberg, 4:50 to play, tapped the scoring with a 44-yard touchdown run. The 2-point ended no good. That gave us our final score of 36-14. Running down some of the stats unofficially for Ridgewood, I got Riley Couture, 11 carries for 6 yards. Tyler Snook, 13 carries for 197 yards and the 1 touchdown. Some Moriarty, 6 carries for 37 and a score. Roy Sandberg, 17 carries for right at 200 yards. Gavin Franks, 4 carries for 26. Luke Gully, 3 carries for 4. Couture, 2 of 4 passing for 15 yards. For the Sabres of St. Thomas More, Peace Bumba, 20 carries, 120 yards, and the 1 touchdown, and
70
on that one
play.
So 50 yards outside of that one play for Bumba on the afternoon. Reed Craddock, 3 carries for -6. Craddock passing, I had 5 of 15 for 39 Peace Bumba with 1 pass attempt for no yardage. Bubba with 1 catch for 12, as it was Ben Horn, 1 catch for 7. Thomas Corrali, 2 catches for 9 yards. And number 51, Ben Horn. No, that was Roselle. It should be Roselle with 1 catch for 13. 36-14, Spartans of Ridgewood move on to the semifinals next week. And
a couple of comments before we get ready to sign off
Alrighty.
here. Bridget Martin said, great season by the Sabres. Good win by Ridgewood from Reese. And Christina Gunther, the relation to Taylor Snook. So proud of the Ridgewood Spartans. Great teamwork. It was a lot of fun watching them play and seeing them next week in the state semifinals. They deserve it. The way they played here today, the way they've been playing down the stretch, very, very, very deservingly so. So we're excited to see them move on to the Final Four. So
awesome. Well, I think that'll do it for us for this afternoon. Thanks for
think so.
tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Again, should have a couple of games for you next week with Polo and Amboy, and Ridgewood's at likely Martinsville next week. So, of course, and then don't forget 2 weeks from yesterday, the state 8-man state championship game at April Zorn Field on the campus of Monmouth College, and we'll have that one for you as well.
I'm excited for that one.
It'll
man.
be fun.
So excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So for Wyatt Reed, Chris Reikhauser saying so long. Everybody have a great and safe weekend, and we'll talk to you in the semifinals next week.